Not about to go deep with Dan Good.
Oh, we're already going.
Oh, well, we're going now. We're going now. The MVP is in the building.
Oh, the MVP is just, it's too big a title. I don't think I've got the shoulders to carry it.
You earned it. You earned those big shoulders. Come on now.
Oh, mate, the weight is lost.
Well, you're back again. It's probably been just over a year, I think, since the last one. I think we probably did it in January, maybe last year.
So no, it would have been February, March, because I was on.
Was it?
Yeah, I was on Nautilus.
Well,
it
it
was
must be early February, because you were. I'm pretty sure you were the first episode in the studio, man. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So, and I moved in I think it was January. So
He lives full time in the studio. Doesn't leave the seat.
Yeah, the listeners and the viewers will be like, no, he hasn't pumped up that many at the moment. He can't live in there that much.
It looks good though. Are these are new?
Were they not up there?
I don't think they were.
No, they probably weren't actually. I may have had one, but they were a little, added that addition to it.
I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. It's a nice little feng shui.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, like I just said, I'm OCD, but you didn't catch that off the mic. I was moving his mic placement.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worse when I have a few drinks. So I remember Jeremy was on the first episode of the year, and we were moving around, and the sound was going funny. I'm like, what's going on? It's all set up exactly the same as it was last time. What's it doing? But it's just a matter of unplugging some of the AUX cords or whatever and plugging them back in, and then it's like, oh, pop, there we go. It literally happened to me as I set up before. And it's like, because as I say, I set up for the solo last time. And and I'm like saying it to him and I'm like, oh man, like, because, we get drinks, we're having more drinks, we're tipsy. And probably by the end of the podcast, those of you to listen to it or no, we got on one. We did 3.5 hours though.
Dude, that's solid.
Yeah, it was solid. Good. I mean, we do long ones because he had 2.5 hours. I think we may have got, or 2:20 or something the first time we did it, and he's like wanted to break that record even though he already had the record. And we definitely surpassed that one.
Mate, that's the way to do it. Have a few bevies.
Yeah. Oh mate, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think, man, I probably said that last time. I was like, maybe we should do that next time, but we can always do another one.
Look, I'm staying off the booze a little bit.
Oh, so am I, man. I'm trying. It's always one of those things. But I know when he comes over, I'm like, oh man, it's just all on. Like,
break it out.
Oh, having a few beforehand, setting up, and then wait till time you get on there, you've already had a few.
Tipsy. That's all right.
Just a little tipsy. It's good for the conversation, man. But I find I got hugely passionate about 2.5, 3 hours, and I was on one, And
passion.
And we had one of the cameras out because we had two set up, and his one didn't switch over memory cards for some reason. So we lost the last 45 minutes or hour of the footage. So it's all on me, and we're at our peak. And I'm just ranting, on a few notes, and it's funny you're here now because what we were at that point in time, we were going on the route of deferred payment for actors in film, and because there was this thing, a message the Brisbane Actors Community Group.
Yeah.
With the Facebook one, which probably has 5,000 people plus or whatever, pretty good for gigs and things like that. They come on and promotion and stuff, and they had this thread where I don't know why I was in it, but he was in it too, and maybe everybody that was part of it was in it, and it was all on deferred payment. And I sort of saw some of it, and I just I'm not getting involved in this. I think he was watching it the whole time, and and just they were complaining. I think what I got from what he said was they were complaining about the deferred payment and. It was the subject and in a nutshell, exactly what we spoke about just before about that gig that you went down to Melbourne and then you had to come back because of the haircut thing and all that. And you're like, look, I would have done it for free just to do the credit and do the thing. And I was like, for sure. I love that. That's exactly it right there in a nutshell. If you, sure, you get to a certain point in your acting career and you've got a bunch of good credits and you go with a good agency and management and whatever, and they're getting you good stuff, and you expect to get paid. And fair enough, people study for a long time. As you know, even if you don't do that, you're putting in so much time and effort and everything into this. And but as far as I'm concerned, it's really simple. If there's a character I really want to play, a script I love, a director I want to work with, I'm all in. You don't need to pay me. I will take time off work and do it for free if I want to do it bad enough. Yeah. And that's kind of my view on that passion side of things. But I think it's different for some people.
They do it at the top. Look at Jonah Hill. He took a massive cut for Wolf of Wall Street, I believe. Took a huge pay cut to do it because he just wanted to work with
Scorsese and that whole cast. DiCaprio,
who wouldn't?
Robbie, all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, they were he was already doing big things anyway. And but that was the time when he was just coming into your Jonah Hill. I remember there was this awesome thing I saw interview with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill, and because they did Moneyball, which is one of my favorite movies, which is so fucking
it's great.
It's one of the
So
best
good.
sports movies ever, I think, in my opinion. It's so fantastic, and it's a lot of dialogue and a lot of talking, but there's action in there, and it's like I mean, Brad Pitt's fantastic, and what isn't he really fantastic in? But and he's like, oh, you know, you're not. It's not like you're just like another supporting actor or whatever it was, and it's not like, you know, you're doing a movie with Brad Pitt. It's a movie with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. Like, you're Jonah Hill now.
Yeah. It solidified him.
Yeah, that's basically it. And he's just, you know, it was a cool props from one actor to another, I think, and to get that kind of that stowed upon you from Brad Pitt is pretty awesome.
He did a similar thing with Adam Sandler. After,
really?
What was the Jewel one?
Oh, Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Oh,
He gave him props after that.
Safdie brothers, isn't it? Or the directors. Yeah,
Dude, so good.
Who was in? Who said that? Sorry. Oh, did
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt said that to Adam.
Yeah. He's like, mate, it was amazing. He was like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Oh,
Adam Sandler,
dude,
really humble,
sweats, everything. Like it was an intense movie, man.
Good.
Like it's legit. Like I watch movies several times over. At least like the ones I really like. I'm gonna watch it 2 or 3 times, if not more. But it's
a cinephile.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the word I keep using too, which is funny you say that, but that's 100% it, man. And I love the cinema in that way. And from all forms, not just the acting, obviously, everything that comes together that makes a film. Like just all the elements is just the beautiful thing about what I love about filmmaking in general, being a part of it on set, and obviously being a consumer as well. And yeah, man, that one I only watched once. I've only ever seen that once, and I thought it was fantastic. But I don't know if I could do it again.
My arms are sweating just thinking about it.
Man, I know. Oh, there might be the heat in here too. But it's it just, man, it's just another side that you've never saw of Adam Sandler, and it's like, it's not like he didn't think he had it in him. I mean, I'm sure the haters would say that, but I think it shows you there.
I think a lot of times stand-up comics they're kind of overlooked or underrated on their acting skill. Because people forget that to make those bits work, especially if they're going to act something out on stage as a comedian, like they have to commit to it. If they don't commit to it, the bit's not going to work. It's not going to be funny. So the fact that they can let go of everything and commit to that one thing just to make you laugh, if they apply that talent to something else, like something dramatic, often they're able to do it really fucking well.
Well, most of the time it's part of selling their bits anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, like, well, I mean, whether people know or not, but like the stand-up comics are like, you write stuff or you're writing on stage kind of thing, but you need the crowd there to work that. And they're going to multiple sets a night, a week, doing their like hours or whatever on the road, you know, getting paid, and that they're going over that so much. That's so finely tuned at that point. And I mean, if that's not a discipline, I don't know what is, you know. And and the funny thing is, like, they're fantastic dramatic actors, though. That's the thing. And they've got the timing too. And it's a funny thing. It's kind of like, you know how you see a lot of like rappers and they go into film and they're kind of just quite natural anyway, because they've understood that energy flow of things, like with crowds and different things, same as comics, obviously, but the energy that it takes to put into that performance. And then they're acting in videos. I mean, half of them are acting in the rap anyway. Their whole persona is an act. And a lot of them these days like, are trying to be like gangster rappers, like hardcore, the young guys and stuff like that. And because I think it's nowhere near as what it was when it first started out, and it was pretty damn cutthroat, and people were throwing hands and a lot when they saw each other, you know, for shit that they said on songs, you know, dissing them and stuff like that. But now it's like they say all this stuff and then they meet up and they're shaking hands, and it's all been put on anyway just to get the clicks and the views, you know. You don't even know what's real anymore with it.
It's like the UFC and that. Like, I can't remember what the athlete's name. I don't follow it super closely, but there was some guy who was going to get cut from the roster. Because he just wasn't.
Kobe Covington.
Was it?
I follow it pretty.
He was going to get cut because he just wasn't selling tickets.
Well, he just wasn't like an entity. People didn't really know him, and that's, you know, there's so many fantastic fighters, but if they don't have a bit of a following or something, or they're good at shit talking like that, they don't get the pay-per-view numbers and therefore don't get paid. And it's so and he was already a fantastic fighter. And then he put that whole cringe persona on of like, I'm a Trump lover, bringing these chicks with him everywhere and just like being absolute cringe. And it took, he was fully getting cut, and he did it in that one fight. I can't remember which one it was. And it just boosted up, and then all of a sudden everyone knew who he was. And I mean, honestly, it works, because I hate it when he does it as well. And even though I listen to a lot of podcasts, guys that are good mates with him that say, like, they lift the veil off it and they go, look, he's not even like that. And he's one of the nicest guys in the sport. And then, but, look at what he does. There's a lot of stories I've heard with that one. And that is a fantastic example of it.
Conor McGregor, the same.
Shit talker. I mean, he's almost started Charles Sonnen before him.
Charles Sonnen. He was good.
And like he was like ripping into like Anderson Silva and like all these guys and John Jones and that, and early on, obviously. And that's how he kind of created his shit talking, and then Conor just took it to a whole nother level, and now everyone's trying to do it, and just like not even. I mean, look. He's barely won a fight in the last like whatever years that he's been fighting. In the last 5, he's probably only won one, I think, and that was against Don Cerrone when he needed shouldered him to the head and stuff like that. But people are still tuning in. I mean, I'm still tuning in almost. I hope he gets back to some of his form.
I can't wait for him to come back. I love the shit talking. It's the funniest part.
I mean, he's still doing it, even though he's not even fighting like for years on end with everyone, And like,
that's GOAT level shit talk. When you lose, it just keep going. Like, it doesn't matter. It's going to keep talking.
Oh man, the balls and like the ego on it, like to go through with that. Like, I couldn't do it. It would eat me up inside being like that. Like just.
I love a good troll, but like that's next level. I don't know if I could do it.
Nah, I don't know either. Well, you like a good troll, do you? You mean watching the trolls, or you like trolling yourself?
I like watching the trolls.
How many Twitter accounts have you got?
No. Well, I'll set people up at work for a laugh.
Well, that's good fun. I mean, that's just getting through the day, man. Absolutely. Tell me about it. That's one of the best things about working with a bunch of blokes or whatever, or chicks that can take it and give it back, which is awesome.
It is.
And it's just, the banter. I mean, it gets you through the goddamn day, man. If I couldn't do that, if I had to stay, I mean, I'd be listening to podcasts, which I do anyway, but which I'm not supposed to be doing, but I do. And it's called multitasking, all right?
Yeah.
But
it's a skill.
It is. It very much is a skill. And some people cannot do it, man. I've seen, and I've screwed it up for us, like almost crashing cars, and like people, like they're just walking around, like, and the boss is like right there going, "Hey, Johnny, I need you for the whack in the head," and like he's got the earpod falls out or something, and you're like, I have it to a level, and my peripheral's good. I have one in, and I'm just like, I can feel him coming, when he's trying to catch me out, which does happen occasionally. But you just
got to be ready to minimize that YouTube.
You do,
just minimize it back to the work.
Oh, Spotify these days, but you know, but YouTube a little bit, but. I mean, I may have the odd sport playing sometimes as well on my phone up by my computer as I'm working on a car, and then I'm watching that and looking through it. I'm multitasking. I'm telling you, I'm good.
Working on that brain, man. That's what you're doing.
Hey, man, it trains you for so many other things too.
For sure.
Yeah, having that ability. But it's true. I think you really can only give 100% of focus to one thing. And even then, it's not even 100% of focus. No. It's 100% of your faculty that you have within you at the time as well.
Absolutely.
Which is... that's a huge like time optimization and body and mind optimization thing. That's been really interesting subjects actually to look into and talk to a few people how they do it on the pod, and they've asked me similar things as well. So because you have so many things juggling in the background. And you just got to like, I mean, sorry guys if I've said this before, but it's just the switching out of priorities. Like you'll get that audition in, and that has to chop whatever editing I'm doing on the podcast or something and get that.
Yes,
and then,
Mum, I know it's your birthday, but it's an audition. See you later.
Yeah. Oh man, it's the life, isn't it?
Everything's last minute too. Lastminute.com.
That's it. But speaking of that, man, what have you been up to since we last spoke?
What was last year? I did a bit of work on Nautilus, which was great.
Yep.
Had a great time.
I think that's where you just were coming in when we were speaking.
My sweet sex offender mustache.
Yes, and you had the huge burns going on, which I thought, that's an interesting fashion look. I'm not going to knock it. He's bigger than me. Trained.
Yeah.
So, but and then I realized once I went down a couple of months later for a big stint, I was like, I see what was happening here.
Yeah, I had to buy an ice cream van immediately. Came with
just to play the part.
Yeah, they shaved it and I ended up on a register. It was ridiculous.
That's not good in your line of work.
No, not at all. But from there, I picked up a day on Irreverent, which is great.
Yep.
So I met one of the stunt cohorts in there, and he ended up giving me some more work on Boy Swallows Universe at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Really
I remember you said you're on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that one?
It was great, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. Yeah. It was good. I got to work with Travis Fimmel, which is cool. Hadn't met him before. He was super nice. Like, made a point of coming around, meeting us all on the first night. And then so the last night I was on set, came over and, hey, mate, great to work with you. Good to meet with you. Hopefully see you around. Made a point to come and find me and the other guys. Yeah, it was really nice.
And the number one on the call sheet doing that,
it was cool.
or, like upcoming actors or what have you. Yeah. It really means a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and I think that they know too, like, obviously, like, you're, whether you're doing stunts or obviously extras work or whatever, you're kind of like dressing the scene, you're hyping the scene, you are the hype man within that, or you're setting the scene, so to speak, for them to do their work, and there's an energy transfer and all that. And it's like, you go from like, the Elvis stuff where he's performing under like a few hundred extras, giving him all that energy. He needs to feed off that to perform, and that, and he's up for Oscars and stuff for it, which I think is like next week or something. It's pretty close.
Probably. Yeah.
Which you may get pipped by the Whale.
I think
Brendan Fraser. I don't know. Yeah, you sure? Yeah. I think he will too, but you never know when it comes to, like, they love to do it differently when they win all the others, like the Golden Globe and everything else. And then,
I have a theory. If you play a person from history who's well known and you nail it, you get the Oscar.
American culture.
Yeah. You get the Oscar.
I know. It's pretty obvious that happens a lot. Yeah.
Because I think
even more so with like the music, like, a musician or something as well.
Absolutely.
That was iconic because there's such a backing behind that. That's a huge weight to have on your shoulders once again as well, doing all that. But yeah, they're definitely more the favoured ones going into it.
Yeah. Well, I think the only one who didn't was Taron Egerton for Elton John.
Yeah.
I think
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. I think because he did a good job, but I don't think he nailed it.
Yeah.
I think if you nail it, like, they just give it to you. Because I think there's a difference between creating a character from nothing and recreating something that everybody knows to a point where they go, man, like, almost indistinguishable.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing the way you recreated that. I think that is a whole other.
Yeah, it's a whole other level. Yeah. It's something to play the part and dress it all and do it well, but you got to make it your own at the same time without going too far. It's so hard. It's so hard.
I don't envy that.
No, not at all.
I wish I was at that level, but good Lord.
Yeah, no, it is a whole nother level. A few levels to go to all that, but
it's a long way away.
Yeah. But he was fantastic in Blackbird. Did you ever see that?
Oh my God.
How good was that? And the dude, talk about sideburns.
Yeah.
Burn sides. I even looked that up after it because we were shooting Nautilus down there, and one of our mates, I don't know if you know John Queston.
I worked on a film with John a few years back.
He's worked with everyone. He's been around.
He's a nice guy.
Hoeing up on the scene, ain't you, Johnny? He would love that mention. But yeah, he had the hugest burn sides, but they were his. He grew them out. And man, they were epic. And I was like, dude, you got to see this guy. I'm watching this at the moment.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. So scary, that guy, as a serial killer on Blackbird. And if you haven't seen it, check it out, guys, because it's fantastic.
Apple TV, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what a creep. Like, that's next level.
So vividly, the visceral feeling you get from just seeing him, oh my God, talk about the energy. Like, in a performance, like, from someone just doing nothing and being still, like, that is just,
he plays those characters so well.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he's always played, the only things I've seen him in, he's always played someone who's like a little bit odd or like mentally handicapped. Like, he was great in, did you see the MMA one, Kingdom? It's a series.
Is that the Netflix one?
I don't know if it was on Netflix or
Wasn't that the Frank Grillo one?
Frank Grillo. And he plays like a mentally handicapt dude who, like,
really? No, I never seen that. Dude, I probably should watch it because I'm pretty into all that, and I like Frank Grillo as well. So,
but he plays a mentally handicapped dude who he got jailed with like one of the main characters for touching his willy on avocados at the shopping center. Like, he's just a weird dude,
fantastic.
And he plays it so well. The whole series, he's just super odd.
Yeah,
the whole time.
How many seasons is that?
I think there was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4. It was great though.
Not too many.
Yeah. It's a great watch though. Jonathan Tucker nails it. He plays the older brother.
Okay.
Have you seen City on a Hill? It's on Stan.
No, has that got Kevin Bacon in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays one of the
is that
the guys
Forrest
as well.
Whitaker as well?
No,
Or
that's
in the other one.
Godfather's of Harlem.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. No, I haven't seen that either. Yeah. That was sort of on the list and it fell on the wayside a little bit.
There's so much.
There's
comes
too many,
out.
man. It's too many.
It's not enough hours in the day.
Yeah. But no, he was so good as that Blackbird, and terrific actor. Richard Jewell, have you seen that?
Yes.
In it?
Yeah.
He was great in that. I think that was one of the first things I saw with him in it.
Yeah.
He came into Cobra Kai when I stopped watching it, I think. I was like over it after the second season.
I think I only got about 2.
He just started in that, and I almost wanted to keep watching it to see him, and then I saw him in all this other stuff, and I'm like, no way. Like,
very talented. Very talented.
I think he was nominated. I don't know if he won Golden Globe or anything for that.
I'm not sure.
But I know they were nominated in a lot of stuff. So, and deservedly so, because
that series is great.
That's fantastic. And the way they set it up and just do everything, and even the FBI agent, the chick, like she's pretty hot and pretty ballsy, and she just like works so many good angles on it. I'm just like, you're selling this to the cows come home, and I'm buying the milk. You know,
oh yeah,
that just came out all right. I'm painting that one. I don't know if that's so many ways
to edit that out later.
Let's not. I need to use that for the painting of that. There's t-shirts, podcast merch to come. I'm buying the milk.
Oh goodness me. No, it's
so many ways.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
And
so and then you were on you did a bit of work on the Boy Swallows universe. Did you get any auditions for the speaking roles in that?
No, because I just picked up
it's hard because you're kind of on it as well, and if you're getting seen, I had a good one, bro, for that. It's probably the best self tape I've ever laid down. I think, and I think that was because like I was in classes at the time doing McSweeney's down and we're doing self tape classes. Get in front of him, bro. So it's good to do. It's a different learning environment once again of the whole scope of things, you know, because it's really audition scene class. You got the guy, whoever your scene partner is, but they're behind camera, you know, so you're not actually in the scenes, which I like the ones when they're in the scenes, you know, like you get, it's just. I feel I learn more and more in it, but obviously that's up to you to figure that out and put it on tape because that's how you get the job. So, you know, it's really good for that. And it happened. I was about halfway through that and then I got that self tape. And usually, like I said just before, I'm like OCD, you know, you'll do so many takes and you're like, and then you're looking over them and then you'll spend like half a night and you're up so late I got to get this in the morning and I'm delirious. I like 10 takes. I don't even know what I'm doing or, you know, you look through so many and that first take, bro. I got off and I just had a quick look to make sure everything was good. I'm like, fuck.
Like, that's good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I could actually send that. That was good. And I was like, shit, I'm going straight again.
Yeah.
I think I did another take just for, I think I did 3 takes. That was it just for like the safety. And then, like used the second one, could have used the first one, you know, like, and just, and I was like, fuck, that was that. I surprised myself with that. And usually I'm like, do a few takes. I actually shot it by myself too because I didn't actually need anyone, so to speak. I played off. It was 2 different scenes and there was another rookie cop with me over there. I mean, you could even been in the scenes. You might even know it.
Yes.
You probably know who got the role.
No, I know the scene you're talking about. I did audition for that as well.
Go into a room with like the corpses and stuff. Yeah. Oh, so you auditioned for that one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I couldn't remember.
Because most people do. Yeah, you know, you hear it. Well, I know a lot of people that got other scenes, but not actually that. Actually, you're the first one that I have talked to that actually got that scene. Which is surprising because usually, you know, your mate will teach you to, like I say, it's helped few mates out with self-tapes. They're like, you got that one right? And I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah. He's like, should we do it? I'm like, yeah, okay. Which is always interesting too, doing it with another person who's going for the exact same role as you.
How do you find that?
Wow.
I've not had to do it. I've never had an audition that someone else has done and read with it.
Only done it once. And that was all good.
Yeah.
But for like a show or something, that was for a TV commercial.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so bad. But if it was the other way around, I think it would be a different story and I wouldn't even go about it like that.
I think just pure like competition out of the way. I think purely because you wouldn't want to be influenced or influence them in theirs. Let them have their own take on it.
It takes a certain type of person, once again, to help you with that and do it even in general. Like, because you can get people that go, oh, he's going for this and I didn't even get it. You know, like they self-sabotage or they sabotage you a little bit from behind the scenes. I've heard of horror stories of that, of like people like, you know, reading the character, but like putting everything into it because they want to get heard and think that they might get an audition from that, you know, and just things like that. Yeah, I won't go too far on it because people might know who the things I'm talking about, but sure, that definitely happens. But in that case, it's funny because we actually both saw it a different way. And so we just gave our little tips. And I'm like, bro, if you think it goes that way, let's do that because cool, we got to have different. I mean, I would just be stoked if one of us gets it, to be honest. I wasn't really too worried about that part. And like even to the point of like he came in from frame a different side that I thought should come into frame. And I'm like, dude, it makes us different. We're definitely shooting with the same setup here, but
exactly.
And he did it way differently. Neither of us actually got it, but you know, like that was interesting. But yeah, I think in that realm, if I did it with someone else and we're doing a proper like you know, a bit part in a show or what have you, a film, that would be a different story. I think I could do it with one of my mates, Sasha, that I know because we both want each other to win, you know. But even then, like some other people, I don't think you would even go down that road because, like you said, you can get influenced by how they see it, and like it's your job as a reader or someone that's helping them with an audition. It's like you let them know what you see and what they're doing and what you think they could do differently if they sort of ask for it, or it's to do a framing or something, or their eye lines and stuff, just to get them real glowing and looking up in the right spots. But yeah, you break it down as you go and you're like, you know, I think like you did something real cool there. And I don't even almost want to address it because I don't want, because then once you know about it, then it stays in your psyche and you're acting in it, not being in the moment, which, you know, that's the game right there. There's like the levels of here. And then when you're coming up there, then you're starting to get somewhere with it, right? And that takes a while. And you know, if you're absolute natural, obviously, that doesn't matter. But that's a thing right there. But yeah, like you can really get swayed like with what someone's opinion, and then you can even get irritated on your end if you're not, you know, if you're not accustomed to doing that kind of thing and taking criticism and or just advice or what have you. I mean, that can even shock you on set, you know, doing it with, you got to be really open to that. I mean, early on, I can tell, I know times where I look back and go, fuck, what was that? Why did I even, you know, why am I speaking back to the director a little bit, you know, but it was like friends and stuff as well, you know, so that's always another swirly thing. And then like, if you're a producer on there with them and like, it's their film, but it's like, you know, like you get two in it, you know, and you're like, at the end of the day, the director has to say, you know, you're, you know, he's puppet master. He'll just tweak little things and then he'll let you, you know, all the good directors will let you do the thing because that's where the magic happens. Yeah. And they'll just do little critiques here and there and like, you know, little things. That helps the performance. Yeah.
Absolutely. It would definitely be a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
It's still a collaboration. Yeah. You don't want to tread on anyone's toes and push too hard for one thing unless it's something you're real 100% it has to be this way.
And that's malleable. You see that though too. Like I've seen it on the big sets, you know, like down there and they're like, no, I really want to. I stuffed up there. I was totally off. Like I was here, my eyelines are gone. And he's like, okay, if you want to go again, let's go again. Yeah, you know, and they'll roll it or they'll be like, oh, I'm feeling, let's just go now. Let's just go now. You know, the energy's there. They're like, I'm in it. Just fucking, let's not talk. Let's not set up. Let's just go and do it. Yeah. And you know, all those things, and all the good directors and people around will know what's going on and just to capture that magic because, I mean, it's your job to get it again, but sometimes it just doesn't happen that exact hard way. And like, you've captured something crazy and you're just like, wow, I didn't even see it like that. But you just took it to a whole nother level, and that's a cool thing to see.
Oh, absolutely. Watching people work that are really on it is magical.
No, it is. It's fantastic. Yeah. So you did, so you went on and did a bit of Boy Swallows Universe. Yeah.
Yeah. And I came into the new year, kind of started out all right for the very start. I picked up a bit of, I was still sort of within the film industry, picked up a bit of safety work over in Malaysia on a reality sort of Survivor style show.
Yeah, okay.
So I was over there with Luke Gillam from Regal Stunts. He was over there.
Yeah.
And I got about 3 weeks in and ended up having to have major abdominal surgery, emergency. So nearly died. It was a
what?
Yeah, it was a bit of a so it was like January 25th 25th, so January 25th, I woke up. Everything just went downhill. So we were having a great time. It was a tropical island. Like the work was cruisy. Everyone was great. Was having a good laugh, having a few beers here and there at night. It was nice.
Yeah, awesome.
And 25th, I woke up, had a message from one of the army boys that one of our mates had died, unfortunately, over in the States, which is tragic. So I spent all day on that day on the phone to people, checking in with people. And it sucked. It sucked. He was in my section in Afghan, so I knew him very well for the last sort of 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And then that night, because the next day was Australia Day, 26th, they gave all the production had the day off, and we kind of put the Brits, and anyone who wasn't an Aussie was left working for the day pretty much. Yeah. So we all had the day off.
Hilarious. Australia Day, even not in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone knowing they had Australia Day off, everyone went out the night before on the 25th.
Yeah. We
went out. Things got crazy. One of the Malaysians threw a chip thing at one of the other fellas and split his eye. And next minute, me and one of the other boys walked outside to go to the toilets, and there's just a brawl with like our whole security team. Like, oh no. So we're in the middle of this brawl. This Malaysian fella comes out with a full-on meat cleaver out of the kitchen wanting to hack people up. One of the other Malaysians like, whoa, no, it's just a punch on. Like, we're not killing anybody tonight. Yeah, escalated real quick.
There's always one, right?
Yeah. The cops came, like cleared the bar out. It turns out it was an underground club that we didn't know it was like an illegal club, so they shut it down. We all went like back to the hotel, a few bruises and bumps here and there. Everyone was fine, not a drama. One of the guys, like the rest of us went to bed. One of the other guys went out to have a smoke. One of the guys from the brawl had followed us back and we didn't know. He went out for a smoke in a van full of Malaysian locals they were from the mainland, but they were over there for whatever reason, pulled up and just stomped the fuck out of him. Jesus. He ended up in intensive care. He's multiple facial reconstruction surgeries needed.
Oh, my God. So
everyone was a bit sore the next day. Like, we're trying to get him out of hospital and whatnot. And then the night of the 26th, I was like laying in bed. I was feeling all right. You get a bit of gas pain every now and then. I was like, it'll go away. It's kind of got worse and worse over the next 4 hours. And by about midnight on the 26th, my pain level went to like 12 out of 10. So I called up the head of the guy who was running control for the night shift. I was like, mate, something's wrong. It's like real wrong. We got the docs still there. He's like, yeah, docs are still here at the med center. Can you get to us? I was like, mate, I don't know. Like, I'm in real proper pain here. Something's wrong. He's like, look, get to the reception of the hotel. I'll come in a van and pick you up, and we'll get you to the docs. They can have a look at you. Found me passed out at the front of the hotel at the reception there because I was like, the pain, mate, was horrendous.
Yeah.
Gets me in the van, gets me to the med center. Get in there. I'm on a gurney laying down. The doc comes. He's like, look, we'll give you some pain meds. If it sort of subsides in the next hour or so, it's probably like gallstones or something, and you'll be fine. And, you'll be right.
Yeah.
If not, hospital, like something serious is going on. Yeah, 90 minutes later, no good, nothing. Like the pain meds they gave me took it from like a 10 to a 9, like did nothing. I'm just, horrendous pain, man. Yeah. So we're in an ambulance into the hospital, which, so Langkawi is off the coast of Malaysia. So it's like a little island. It's just a bunch of resorts and stuff like that. It's just a holiday island in Malaysia.
Yeah.
This hospital's a district hospital. Like it's not a hospital.
Scary thing about it, anywhere like that, right?
Yeah. Oh, mate.
I mean, they're not third world, are they? Like,
probably.
Yeah.
Like some parts would be for sure. Yeah.
By the sounds of it, what you're saying before.
Mate. Yeah. So we're so I'm in this hospital. I've got horrendous pain. I'm there for a couple of hours. Get an X-ray. Not sure what's going on. Had a guy on the controls like, yeah, mate. Look, I got to get back to the office because we got to run night shift still. The head of the contract will be in to see you in a couple of hours. So she cruised in at like 5 the next morning. By this point, like 2, like 5:30, she cruised in the next morning. She's like, where's old mate? Gone. She's like, the fuck? Like, he should be here with you. They can handle night shift. But anyway, that aside, she's like arguing with the doctor. She was great. Like, she took control of it, argued with the doctors to get a CT scan and find out what's going on. Finally get me in for the CT scan. The doctor comes out. He's like, yeah, look, you need major surgery. Looks like your bowel and your small intestine are both perforated and are leaking on the insides. And she just looked at me and she's like, we're not doing surgery here, Jake. She's like, if you have surgery here, you're either dying on that table or you're going to be fucked for life. Like,
because this is still at the
this is like a district hospital.
Yeah.
It's like a
which you'd think would still be all right, but here it would be all right.
well,
but
for that sort of major surgery,
even that sounds pretty intensive.
The surgeon they're going to have is just going to be a general surgeon.
Oh fuck!
It's not going to be a specialist on what I need. It's just going to be a general surgeon
and
who's having a crack.
She's telling you that, and why you're coherent. Yeah, sort of. Right.
Oh, yeah. It's still in horrendous pain. She goes, look, we're going to get you in a chopper. That's the first point. Luckily, I didn't have travel insurance because I didn't need it because the production company had it. I was
going to say, lucky you were employed and on that, because even that would have been a huge thing.
Yeah. So they covered it, the cost, thank God for that. Jesus. She gets on, it's Chinese New Year, and we got 2 monsoons off the coast. So the chopper is not coming. They're like, no, we can fly him out tomorrow morning. We can fly in because of the weather. We can't fly. And she's like, he'll die before then. Like, we cannot wait. So what are we going to do? They're like, I don't know. Figure it out. So she goes, all right, next plan. We had a working relationship with the local police. They have agreed, like the head of commissioner of police, whatever, has agreed to get their police boat to us, load you on and get you to the mainland from there. And then we'll get you in an ambulance and try and get you to KL. So I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing this little sarong thing that doesn't tie up properly. They've got me on a stool on this police boat, like I'm bracing with the sort of awning there, trying to hold myself and brace against the impacts. I've got my phone and my piss bag in the hand because I got a catheter in. Yeah. And I'm holding up the sarong so I'm not just bare assing it on this police boat. And we take off, and it's about an hour to get across. It's open ocean. There's like a monsoon off the coast, so it's choppy, and we're doing like Mark 3. Every impact is just agony, like horrendous. We get 10 minutes like into this journey, and the doc's like, hey mate, have you got your passport and like the CT scans and stuff from the hospital? And I was like, no, like I thought you had that stuff. He's like, no, she's still got it on the mainland, so we have to flip around and come back and get that stuff. So then I'm holding my passport, my phone, my piss bag, and the sarong, and bracing. An hour and 10 minutes across the open ocean. I'm getting slapped in the face with waves, like salt water just hitting me. I'm just like, mate, kill me now. Like at this point,
almost not get any worse.
Yeah. We finally land in the mainland. They get me off. They put me straight onto a stretcher, and they're like wheeling me through the terminal. And every Malaysian is looking at like, what's going on with the weird white guy? I'm just like,
they normally like that anyway without all the other additives.
Exactly. Yeah. So I get in this back of this ambulance, which is like a Fastways high ace van. Like it's this small little, not a proper size ambulance.
Okay, third world.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the doctor, Dr. Jan, goes, look, we have 2 options. We can go to Penang, which is like 2 hours drive, or we can try and get to KL. If you get to KL, we'll be going straight to the private hospital where the surgery team knows you're coming. They're on standby. They're like waiting for you to get this done. He's like, but you're the patient. Like it's your choice. What do you want to do? And I was like, fuck, like I'm just in so much pain. I was like, mate, what would you do? He goes, I'd go to KL. He goes, I think your vitals are strong enough that we'll be able to get there. I think it's okay, but it's a 4-hour drive. And he's like, if you dive and your vitals start going down, we know the hospital's along the road. We will just pull into like the closest tertiary hospital and you'll go straight into surgery and we'll try and like you should be okay. But I think you'll be all right. I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to KL. Yeah. So it's pissing down rain by this point, storming. We're doing about 150 on the highway, lights and sirens for 4 hours. We get maybe 2 hours in, smoke break. We pull over a survey for fuel, but they stop to get some food and have a smoke break. And I'm like, line back this thing. Guys, is
dying
this
on your
priority?
Your death stall?
Yeah. Like, is this the priority, guys? Can we eat when we get there? Or So we keep going. We get there into the hospital maybe like 10:30 on the night of the 27th. The doctor comes and sees me, the surgeon, finally gets morphine, so pain goes to 0. Like, thank God. He goes, look, CT scan wasn't good. We got to get you another CT scan. I can't see what's on it. I'm like, oh. So the previous CT scan had shown the bowel perforation, the small intestine perforation, but also a mass that they didn't know what it was. He's like, could be fluid, could be a tumor. You might need chemo. We don't know. Could be anything. So I'm just like, my life's over. Like,
so that hour to go back was a waste. Well, passport, right? But
yeah. So I go in for another CT scan. I got to drink all these cups of fluids. I got to throw dye in my arm. I get a tube up the arse for like the 5th time. Like, I don't know if it's a weird Malaysian doctor thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the amount of times that people put something in my ass, like, it's like, is this necessary? Did we not get it all in the last time? Like,
lucky
seriously?
You gave me the morphine.
Yeah. Oh. So it's like a tube with fluids and stuff. And then by this point, it's maybe like 1:30. I get wheeled back into the room and the surgeon comes rushing. He's like, I've just got the results. He's like, you're going to the OR right now. They're prepping it. Let's go. Like, you need surgery now. You're septic. So we go down and I wake up like, I think it was about 2:30 that the surgery started. And I woke up at like 7 the next morning, like groggy. And he's like, oh, you know, telling me, oh, it was okay. Like, you're alive. Like, everything's going to be fine. We'll see what happens from here. Yeah. It's like, I think your mother and sister are coming. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I think they're here. And I was like, oh, no. That's the head of the contract. She's great. But no, I'm not related to her. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure they're yours. And like maybe an hour later, they come mumbling in. And I was like, out of nowhere. So it was good. I was in hospital for about a week recovering. Yeah. I got a nice big scar on me now. It was about 6 weeks ago.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a gig to take in Malaysia.
Oh, bro. Ruined the trip.
Oh, yeah. Or gives you a story.
Oh, look, it's a story.
Yeah, it's a story, all right.
Yeah, everyone I told, it's like, I'm sorry, I want to laugh. I'm like, you laugh. It's fun. Like, I'm alive.
I'm not at the laughing stage yet. I'm just like, what the?
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. Like,
yeah, because they obviously got like called.
So I did.
Someone contacted
I missed that. Before we left the district hospital, the head of the contract's like, do you want to let anyone know? So I thought about it. My parents are getting on in age. I was like, I'm not calling them. Like, I'm not in a frame of mind where I can have that conversation and deal with their panic. I was like, I'll call my sister. She's a nurse. So I FaceTimed her. I was like, by the way, you're going to have major abdominal surgery. Might die. Not sure. She's like, do you want us to come over? I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, what are you going to do? Yeah. You don't need to like waste the money to get over here. If I die, you'll have to come over later and ID the body. But like outside of that, I'll get flown home at some point, save your cash.
Which just adds to the dramatic nature. Yeah. Like, I think we need to come over there. Like, you've just been so nonchalant about it. It's just, but it's like, what are you going to do? You know, like this is, we just need to,
if I die, like
KL hospital.
And there's nothing I can do to stop it at this point. Like, if I go, it's my time. Like,
Jesus.
It is what it is.
I mean, well, my question, because I thought you were about to say you got stabbed in the fight or something. No, because after you showed me the scar first before we started, I'm just like, and my mind was going. I'm like, the cleaver. When you said the cleaver, and I'm like, that explains it. So what happened?
No idea. Out of nowhere. They said like a diverticulum is what he said. It's like a small pouch on like the inside of your bowel lining. Yeah. You get like a seed or something in there and it gets infected and builds up and then blows a hole in your bowel, I suppose. They don't know what caused it. They don't know why it happened, just completely out of the blue.
I mean, the human body's an out of it thing, but that's just so fragile at the same time. We're just a meat sack of water and blood. And it's
horrendous.
Jeez.
Horrendous.
Man, so I wonder if it's something you ate over there, like random. I mean, or it was like before and it just the circumstance, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the night before I'd had like Korean barbecue. Like it was just beef. Like it was nothing. I mean, it could have been cat. It could have been anything.
You have no idea.
They said That's the beef. Thing about They said it was beef. I ate it. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
It was beef. Yeah, it tasted good. To be honest, I don't care what meat it was.
Korean barbecue cooked the right way with sauces or whatever. You're not even going to know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's tender, it's succulent, it's great.
I ate it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, but I mean, it just could be any number of things like that, right? If it's that so simple to happen that way, I mean, it's like, it's probably, how does this not happen to people more often if it's so random like that and you can't even trace it back to like its origin?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So it's not fun. So I ended up, went to urgent care last week. I just had some discomfort. It ended up being nothing. Like they scanned it all and we can find nothing. Here's some codeine or whatever, oxycodone, go home, like come back if it happens again. Yeah. So, but everything's fine. Like I live life now. I just got to be sort of easing back into doing things.
Yeah, good option not having the beers right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like I was at the wake and everyone was like, "Hey man," and I was like, "No, like nearly died." Like
Yeah.
Literally, I got home a week ago. Like, no, I can't.
Wow, what a crazy few weeks, man.
Yeah, so it's been the start of 2023. I thought it was going to be great.
Yeah, I can't even believe you said yes to come on the podcast now.
Oh, mate, how can I pass this? It's the Joe Rogan of Australia.
Yeah, how can I pass this guys? Man, what a story to start off on the pod, though, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was good. It was it is what it is. I'm alive.
Yeah. I mean, you live to tell the tale, eh? Yeah. I mean, it's like how many epic things have you sort of been through and different circumstances of near-death experiences now, man? Like, geez, it's got to make you feel alive of one thing to say with it, and element of luck in there, and whatever else is, the thing looking over you, like, keeping your here with us. Like, that's nuts, man.
I think it's one of the things, like, a couple of people are like, oh, you scared? Like, you're freaking out? And I was like, not really. Like, to be honest, I think it's one of the, it's sort of a double-edged blade having come from where I've come from, is you face your mortality quite early on.
Yeah.
So I kind of I just kind of accepted it. I was like I honestly wasn't fearful. I was like, this sucks. I hope it doesn't happen. But I was like, well, like, if I die, I die. Like, I wasn't really fearful of dying. I was like,
I think
you know what I mean?
When you're also in kind of crazy situations like that, you're so reactive. Like, you're so, you're going through it so much that it's like you don't let anything else in anyway. Like, it's like, how many times have there of negligence of how they were running the operation and everything are like, you're like, what that you didn't flip out at them and go, what the fuck are you guys doing? But that's not going to help the situation.
No.
You flip out. I'm sure they're probably used to it, but it's like right now you're running on a whim of, like, help from people that you have, not really a lot in common with, and, like, other than you're in pain and they're supposed to heal, like, and it's just and they're trying to help you, and they moved a lot of, like, heaven and earth by the sounds of it to get it done with the monsoon coming and all that. They probably had about to influx their little hospital or establishment or whatever. With obviously what happens in the aftermath of a monsoon and whatever. It's pretty wild. But there's something to be said in those situations. And it's like, I guess people can fold, right? Like, it's one or two things. You take charge of the situation and you do the best you possibly can and just get through it and help everyone get through it, or whatever the situation is. Or some people fold, right? And they just go straight inward and just it all spirals out of control, and they're probably hopeless at that point. Which I'm sure you've probably seen possibly out in the battlefield or so to speak, or what have you.
Yeah. No, hats off to Ting, mate. She was amazing. Like, she handled it all. Like, she asked me a few questions here and there, and I was like, Ting, like, I give a fuck, mate. Like, I'm in that much pain.
Yeah.
I trust that you're going to do what you think is best for me. You're not out to screw me. So, like, whatever you think is good, I sign off. Let's do that. It's fine.
So is that the coordinator?
That was the head of the contractor.
So how did you call her? Oh, you called her and said something's wrong.
No. So I called a guy called John who was on the night shift.
Yeah.
So he was running night shift. Ting was supposed to relieve him at like 5:30 the next morning.
Right. Yeah.
But she was there, like the head. She was running it all for us. Yeah. She was like running our team.
Yeah. It was lucky. Like, she was there and not out partying or anything. Oh, obviously she's about to work too, but that's their job. But man.
Yeah, she was great. She handled it all. She organised it all. Like, she organised through the insurance and everything.
Yeah.
And my sister actually ended up being like an amazing asset when she got there. Like, I would have got home regardless, but she'd actually done like a mission trip over to Russia a couple of years ago, and one of the guys on that trip had a cardiac event.
Yeah.
So she had to deal with, like, being the only nurse on the trip. Well, she wasn't even there as a nurse. She just happens to be a nurse. Oh. She dealt with everything to get him back to Australia.
Yeah.
So she'd been through the process of dealing with insurance companies in a foreign. She knew the paperwork that they needed, like everything. So she was talking to the surgeon, like, hey, mate, like, he obviously can't travel in economy and do like 50 stops. Like, we need to get him, like, as comfortable as possible, direct as possible to get home. We don't want changes of altitude constantly and whatever. So, and the surgeon was all over it. She's like, so we need you to sign this form for the insurance. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, ticking by. He's like, do you want him to go first class? She's like, let's not take the piss, but business class will, like, that's recline in the room. Like, we can get that. So the insurance company were happy to fly us back business class. And because it was a medical event, they would have had to fly a nurse or a medical professional over to me and then back.
But because your sister was there.
They were like, would you mind being like the medical escort for him. She was like, yeah, like absolutely. So they put her in business class. Like,
Should have
talk to self in a business
first class.
Yeah. I feel
Might
like
be
it would
the
have been
only
a
time
piss
you
take.
get to do it, right? Like,
oh, mate, Qantas business. That was amazing.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah. I don't even. Yeah.
If I had the money to throw it down the toilet, like I would never fly economy again.
So what is that? A whole different plane or
no? Same plane, but like it was incredible. Like my seat fully reclined. It was like a bed.
Yeah, well, they do have those bed ones now, and I don't know if that probably is business. Not, I mean, first class, I'm sure is probably double. But
well, they did. So they didn't have first class on this flight. It was only business class.
Of course, yeah.
But like it was like the lady come past. She's like, "Would you like me to put your mattress on, sir?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "The mattress." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like I'm a peasant, mate. Like I don't know what you're on about. Like, oh, that mattress right there. Can you stand up? I was like, I just had surgery. Like, no. She's like, trust me, it's worth it. I'm like struggled out of the seat. But I sat back down and I was like,
that was worth it.
That was worth it. You didn't lie. That's great.
You are an angel.
Oh, it was amazing.
No,
if you ever get a chance, mate, take that upgrade.
I don't think I want to go through what you did to get there. But
0 out of 10.
Worth it at
0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
I think what sells the caption almost on this episode already is a stool and a piss bag.
Oh man,
in the middle of a monsoon on a police boat going to get life-saving surgery.
Less than ideal. Is how I would describe it.
Jesus Christ, that is intense. I can't,
oh, mate, the year can't get worse. Like,
no, I don't think so either.
No.
Do you want some more?
Oh, yeah.
It's Jesus, man, that's just absolutely nuts.
It's been good times.
Wow, that starts off the adversary for the year. And where to go through from that.
So it's it's all right. Like I said, I'm sort of back to 100% now. Like I went back to the gym. Sore as hell.
Well, that's what I saw on your story, and I was about to comment, and then I was like, we'll save it for the pod. I'll talk to you about it then because, I wasn't sure. Like, I thought you went over there maybe for some sort of like surgery, like you need, how people go places, because it's cheaper, but it's still good, like where you're going, and you can get right in because you just bumped up a certain degree. And I was like, and it's not something you always ask someone as well. Like, what are you doing? If it was a chick, I kind of, you know what they're probably going to do. But exactly. You see that from time to time too. But
no, I was very lucky. A friend of my cousin's had a similar thing happen, and he ended up. One of the risks you have is with a bowel resection. So they take a large portion of your bowel. It's got like 15 centimeters of my small intestines, and I wake up from the surgery. The doctor's talking me through this. And he's like, oh, yeah. And we took your appendix. It wasn't inflamed, but we were in there anyway. So we just took it. Okay.
Are you selling it on the black market? Because that's what it sounds like.
Like, oh, okay.
Do I get a cut?
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, we were in the neighborhood. So saves your surgery later.
You don't need. Oh, because eventually that happens, right?
Yeah. Well, potentially you could have appendicitis later. So
because people get, that's quite a common thing, obviously, too.
Yeah. So he just took it.
But like, just to take it out, like, what is it in there in the first place? Like, what the hell is it doing then if you can just go, we took it out, a couple of your ribs too. Like, you don't need the bottom ones. Like, what?
I was very lucky because post-surgery, especially with something like that, you can end up getting post-surgery fever. It was like, if you end up with that and it's bad, we may have to go back in and give you like a poo bag, essentially, a colostomy bag. Sew it all up, wait 3 or 4 months for like the internals to sort of settle and heal and get rid of that infection, and then go in and take the bag out, which is like a day surgery. It's like nothing. But
that's sort of like 3 surgeries.
And you could have a bag for like 3 to 4 months. I was like, well, that like,
let's not do that if we don't need to.
Absolutely. Well, I can't work then. Like I can't work in a jail and potentially have to fight people with a poo bag. I can't pick up acting work. Like who's hiring to go with a colostomy bag?
Well, that was my next question. I mean, obviously, you're an actor. You work at a prison guard as well, and you mainly do a lot of stunts as well, and that gets you on the sets as well as trying to work the magic, as was spoken about before. So how is that going for you then now moving forward? I mean, you're back in the gym, obviously, so that's a good start. Pretty quickly too. I was going to say, because even a little injury is like, how long does that set you back, man? So frustrating.
So I went back, what's today? Wednesday, Monday I went back for the first day, and it's like, I'll be taking it easy in the gym. I could probably push a little bit, but I'm being very cautious because I don't want to do that.
Man. Yeah, especially with everything and the variables of what could still possibly go wrong, you know.
Exactly. So I'll have a couple of weeks of like I'm just moving weight around. I'm not trying to lift anything heavy. I'm not trying to exert myself so much. I'm just trying to do
so many movements where like you're doing deadlifts or squats or anything compound. Yeah, you're fucked. Like you need core for everything anyway. So it's, I definitely tread lightly.
Like mate, sitting on the couch for the last 6 weeks, I was ready to start a shotgun. Like I was over it, eh?
It's it's a thing, eh? Like especially if you're an active person as well. And it's just it does not do anything for your mental health.
Yeah,
like sitting there like that with injury or anything, because you just start to spiral in your mind, and you just allow things to come in that wouldn't usually. Yeah, and we're all fragile enough as it is anyway with our minds, and that's such a powerful thing to to have power over you, or they're controlling you basically. You know, you control it most times. You hope. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like that mental health thing and working out. I mean, I could not, advocate for it enough, because it does wonders for me. And if I don't even train for a few days, I'm starting to spiral a little bit, you know, and, the anxiety sets in a little bit, or whatever it is, stress of everything just gets to you that little more, and it all compacts until you blow a gasket at some point at someone or yourself or whatever way happens, man. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. And once you know it and you know how to alleviate it and you feel that, then it's good, because you can start to, optimization once again of your body and mind and your time. And it's just like, you can do so much more with that. Sure, it's anywhere from, I guess, 2 to 6 or 10 hours a week you're training, but it's like all that helps for all the stuff afterwards as well, and everything you're doing. And not to mention, you feel better and you look great. Yeah. So
and if you do look better, like your self-confidence go up, you feel better about yourself. Like it's just
the endorphins and all that effects.
So many benefits. I think a lot of people who don't exercise regularly or push themselves don't fully comprehend within it. Yeah. Like I know it sucks. It sucks going back and pushing through those pain barriers.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can push yourself for that one more rep, like even if it be weightlifting, it could be any sort of exercise, which is weightlifting is so we do.
Yeah.
Like pushing through those pain barriers and those things where you're like, oh man, I just couldn't be fucked going to the gym today.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you know what? Go. And you go and do it. That builds a mental toughness in itself, just making those decisions and pushing that little bit harder. So when you do have external stresses from life come in, you're better equipped to deal with them mentally.
Yeah.
But you're also better to do like your physical well-being makes life a lot easier. Like your stressful situation, your heart rate elevates. Your fine motor skills go when you elevate your heart rate. You start focusing on gross motor skills. So if you're fitter and healthier, your heart rate's lower. So when you do have stress and it raises, it's not raising to the same level it was. You're actually able to deal with whatever stress that is better. You're physically able to focus your mental acuity towards that better than you would be if you were less fit. Like it just intertwines so much.
Yeah, the chemistry of the brain and everything. Yeah. And it's like what you're talking about there is probably one of my favorite parts of training. Sometimes, like I was talking about this with my friend. Well, my guy sets out a lot of my training everything, Sasha, who I've had on the pod before. But I was talking about it a few weeks ago, like, and he loves like the feeling of muscle engagement when he's training and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, like he loves training. I actually don't love training. I love aspects of training. Like I love, like obviously, like what we just spoke about is the part that I love the most, that I'm in control of optimizing myself, and I am so much better and more equipped to face the world and everything else that comes at me next.
Yeah.
And when you don't want to go and you're like, I can't bother training that today, I'm doing squats or whatever it is, and all that. And I'm like, oh man, such an uphill battle. But you push yourself to go there, you go there, whatever. Oh, you see that hot chick that you like. Oh, yeah, I already feel a little bit better about being in here. You can see what I got to gym. I'm joking. Not. That's like, and then you're just like, you start training, you're like, oh, okay, not so bad. Oh, I feel a little bit, a little bit better now. And just those endorphins start going. And then when you're pushing those extra sets that you didn't think you could do before, like you're already winning. because you're in there and when you didn't want to go and you're already facing that adversity in yourself, you know, and being mental toughness and everything. And then you go through, like, I love it when, you push those extra reps out when you even didn't in the set before when you were screwed and you're like, oh, I overcame that. You know, where did that come from? And just that overall, about halfway, 3/4 in, I'm like, I'm glad I came here. You know, I feel so much better now. And then you finish and you're just clearer and you feel better. You just feel more powerful. That energy coming through, that flows through your body. It's like the blood and everything is going good and flowing the way it should do, because maybe you're sitting down for too much and watching TV or whatever the night before or what have you. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I was feeling a little weird, and now everything's just, you know, I feel good, and just that stuff, you know. And obviously you look and you feel better, you get more confidence. I love that part of it. I mean, I do love a lot of aspects of training. I just don't love it all. Like it's like I love it. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to love about it.
For sure.
But those feelings, like we were just speaking about, is why I train. And also once you've started, like we say with an injury, it's like you think about what you're lifting now. Like I remember when this is before I even moved over here, like probably 12 years ago or whatever, and I just started sort of going to the gym and trying to figure out what I was doing with it. And like picking up like a 10 kg or 12 kg dumbbell and doing like chest press with that. Hoops. It's like, and you're like struggling with that compared to, you know, now you can do 30s plus, you know, or whatever doing that. And it's like, man, that's a hell of a strength gain from them when you think about it. It's nuts. But you have that little setback. And then how far do you go off quickly? Like a week's okay. You're not too bad. You have 2 weeks off. Like I injured my finger the other day at work, and that was sitting at home on the couch. Sure, it was all right for a couple of days. And then after that, I'm like, man, I need to do something. Like I'm going a bit nuts here. Well, I'm already nuts, but I'm going a bit nuts here, you know, like, and it's just, man, it just builds on you. And then it's like that 2 weeks that you had off actually takes a month to even get back to where you were the first time. That's about, for those who don't know, that's kind of how it works. Like it's roughly that. You have a week off, probably take you 2 weeks, you're all right. But you have any more than that, it takes so long to get that strength back. And it's the simple things like you're doing chin-ups, like body weight, where you used to be putting weight on doing it, like around your, you know, however you do it on a chain or dumbbell, what have you, where you're like, you know, you got kgs on you and you're doing chin-ups, you know, several sets to body weights. I'm getting 8 in and I'm starting to struggle a bit, like getting a bit red in the face. I'm like, what is this? It
is an ego killer for
sure.
sure.
Oh, yeah. Like, some dude gave me shit, and he was early in the gym. And he didn't know that I was obviously doing warm-up sets, and I was just coming back off injury. And can be a meathead sometimes and like just push it, you know, because I know what I can do, and I believe in having a strong mind and pushing yourself further because it creates more within you, you know, and you just really don't know your limits really. And I was doing it on the assisted, but I was just, you know, the assisted where you got the bench and you're doing those ones. And I was doing it with lighter weights, and I hate doing it on the machine anyway, because it just, I don't know, it's not free. Right. You don't, like on those, what are they called?
It's like a Smith machine squat or something.
Like it's the same kind of
thing,
like that.
But you kind of don't have as much free movement for your body.
It uses a different, it uses a different setup with the counteracting of the weight. But you just tighten in where you're on a big boy bar. You're doing it like a big boy, not a little pussy over there on the assisted. No offense to anyone who's starting out on that, because chin-ups are probably the hardest thing for most people, especially someone with a bigger frame.
That is one of the most impressive things.
A guy like you would be harder to do chin-ups than me, or you know, like But what, like watching women do chin-ups, because like for them generally the lower body is stronger, upper body isn't. Like you see a chick jump up and pump out like holy shit. You don't see it often though, do you? But unless I mean different gyms you go to, for sure. And it's and you can see how their back muscles come in straight away into someone that's just like got no definition whatsoever there, because they're doing the right move. And plus, like, it's like doing deads or what, you know, you're using a lot of, I mean, sure, you're using a lot of upper body, obviously, but using a crap load of core. You find once your arms or your biceps are obviously, your back, your biceps are working to give your biceps take over a little bit. When that all is done, it's really your core locking in and having that structured that you feel, because you can see it too, if you look in the mirror as well, a lot of the times, like you can see your core locked, like, and how much strength you're actually pulling through and engaging it the whole way through. I guess I do like that muscle engagement in a lot of movements too, because you know you're doing it right.
It's the Epiphany podcast right here.
Sasha, I take that back. No, it is because, and also, well, that was one thing that was great with working with him, is because he's so fine-tuned on that, is that doing the movements right, not being a meathead and doing too much weight, and you're just not even working the muscle properly. Your bigger muscles are taking over anyway. And for me, like, my upper body seems to be a bit stronger. And well, I'm saying that I can push a bit with my legs, but like, I guess I'm in the way of folding back on that, because it's the thing that I feel is probably stronger. It's a mental thing too, I think. And
you like working those things. Like if you're really good at benching, you like you like chest day because you're good at it. It makes you feel awesome. Look how fucking strong
who
I
doesn't
am.
like chest day, you know, and back day. I hate leg day, but
I actually enjoy leg day.
Yeah, there's quite a few people
that
do.
at it.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm actually not as bad as what I probably hate it. Like when people, like, I'm loading up the leg press and stuff like that or whatever, and I was doing calves on it the other day too, and I was saying to someone, I was trying to explain this thing that happened to me, and it was like, I did a couple of warm-up sets, obviously, because that's what you want to do when you're pushing a decent amount of weight. And I was doing calves on the leg press. You know, you go higher up and you're just pushing with your toes. And obviously, And I had like maybe 350, 400 or something on there doing that, like just doing the calves. You know, because I don't have massive legs either. But it was funny because I was explaining that, and they're like, and then when I said the thing, because it was just this weird jolt that comes through, I felt it a couple of times on my body, and it was like, it was on my left shin, and it was like a bone fragment lifted off, like I could feel it through my body. I'm pretty engaged with my body, you know, like highly sensitivity and with the energy and stuff like that, and as well as other things around me, but yeah, it was like an electrical jolt came through. It's like a nerve thing. And it just, I could feel like it was like a little bit of a bone fragment that lifted off and came back. Like it was just a shock through the system.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a nerve related thing or not. And I've explained it to a few people that know what I'm talking about. Like, and then when I say the weight, they're like, oh, no wonder. But I'm like, it's only in the first rep. That's it. I'm good after. Otherwise I would stop. I'm not that stupid.
Yeah.
But, and it's just the first time when it warms up. And then I'm like, I'm good. I can do it after that. I can even go up, you know, but it's weird. Yeah, everyone makes a weird face when I say that. And I'm like, I can't explain it, but it's been the same spot like 3 times or 2 or 3 times it happened
painful.
to me. Yeah, it's more just an isolating odd feeling, you know, that I can feel exactly where it is. Like I could tell you, but I have no idea what it actually is. That's just the best way I can explain it to someone. But it's a funny thing, eh? Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, but that whole overall like we started at the bottom with my training again and worked away, like just balanced everything out again because I was probably upper body bigger and my like back was so almost overtrained that I had this crazy crazy shape going on. It was, it actually was good, but it's just everything's more evened out and all that. And like I had like pretty big arm, like biceps and stuff, like the size and it just, and I kind of liked it, but whatever. But we balanced it out. I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah.
That way.
Oh, you need help with that over there? I can reach it. Only that high.
Oh, mate.
Oh, you want to see try?
That's right. Get that lobster claw out.
Oh my God. Could you imagine actually hanging out with someone like that?
Oh, mate. All of my friends.
Not calling anyone out.
No, it's been good to get back in there this week. It sucks.
It must feel
it sucks good. Having, like, I've lost a lot of strength, but having to go super light is also like it sucks. Like I did legs on Monday, and I was like 30, 40 kilos on the bar. Like I'm definitely not going to be struggling with that, but I put it on and I look next to me.
Yeah,
and this chick's just loaded 80 up and I was like, there's surgery, real bad. I don't know what to tell you.
Just like, oh yeah.
Sure. I was like, damn it. You're so hot. Yeah. Damn it. But it's a laugh. Like, at the end of the day, who cares?
You got to do what you got to do. And people that know that are training properly, there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And but sometimes it's different movements though as well. Like obviously you need to be doing lighter weights because you're doing a different setup or you're supersetting with this and like you're doing way more reps and you're going, you're not doing like just power or strength lifting. Like there's so many different aspects to it. But I get you. When there's odd techniques, you're doing that, you're like, oh shit.
Damn it.
Oh man, especially what Scott said. No, girls are pretty, they focus on legs a lot, obviously, get that booty.
Oh,
but
mate, I wish I had the mental fortitude of women to do that. That legs 5 times a week. I couldn't do it.
Nah, me
I'd die. Oh my goodness. But they do, like they get all that lower body just builds so quickly. I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's quite interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it? I wonder if it's like hormonal as well, like something to do with
Yeah.
that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like
I'm not sure,
evolutionary or
but I
something.
mean, I guess like testosterone you need for the building of muscles, though,
Yes.
right? Like, I mean, and the energy and everything. But I mean, that's not to say girls don't have testosterone. They have more testosterone in their body than estrogen. Anyway.
Yeah,
They do. Yeah, it's a fact. Like, which a lot of people don't actually know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, no, they
right
do.
now.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
and you know, like, and males have a lot of estrogen in their body too.
Yeah. Yes.
Obviously, the testosterone's higher and everything, but it's interesting, that balance. Yeah. And I probably should fact check myself right now. I'm
pull it up, Jamie.
I mean, dude, we got the setup here. I almost set that up before because I was like thinking about pulling up a few of your travel clips and stuff with the show and everything. Man, I was trying to watch, like, I wanted to watch some like last night on like packing and stuff.
It's on 10 Play.
Yeah, 10 Play. Check it out.
If you miss it at 9 a.m. on Channel 10 on Sunday mornings, you can find it on 10 Play. Destination Dessert.
There you go. Your boy's on there. Yeah, but well, we should talk about a bit of that too. I think would be great. Yeah, that's why I wanted to. Yeah, I was trying to watch it, man. It's so much stuff, and I was like, I was like trying to do it. Yeah, and I was like packing last night. It's 11 o'clock. I'm like seeing through walls, and I'm like, man. And to be fair, I got distracted by a snake outside before I started. Did you see that? Yeah,
that was a big snake,
dude. It wasn't.
I don't know snakes.
Yeah,
but I would guess maybe a carpet python.
It was a carpet python.
It was? Yeah.
I thought so too. And I'm not saying I know snakes, but I just knew looking at it. But I was like,
I feel like this is not going to kill me, but still get it out of here.
But still, my heart rate elevated when I saw it, and to get close to do the video and obviously put it on the gram, which dude,
if it wasn't on the gram, it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, exactly. I wanted to show people because I was tripping, man. I was like, whoa, because I went to go outside and I was like, I think I'd take it. I said that in the video, but that's why I wasn't even thinking straight because I literally saw it and I like checked it out. I'm like, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't think it's poisonous. Okay, let me get my phone and because I'm going to New Zealand and my little nephew is like obsessed with animals and just he wants to be a biologist and all this like crazy stuff. Yeah. He's only like 5. He's been talking about it for years. Yeah. So I'm like sending him like stuff like when my presents are like always some way like I want to try and develop him creatively and stuff like help him develop creatively and stuff because he loves creative things as well. And and so I was like, oh, he's gonna love this. And it just happens to be like 2 nights before I go back there. So I got on these videos basically for him. Yeah. And I wanted to put it up. And so like even then I was a little cagey. I was like, I thought I knew what it was, but I wasn't sure. You don't know if you don't know. I mean, there's so many different varieties of snakes as well. And I'm like obviously not an Australian native, so I don't know. And I've only seen a few in person other than at a zoo, you know. And I started, I grabbed it. I'm like, got to do this. And I was like, because my heart rate was I said it in the video. I was like, my heart rate's a little elevated right now, dude. But I'm getting close, to do it because I think I'm all good. But and it's just, I was watering my plants inside. I was going out because I've got a rainwater valve. Yeah, right. And so I get that rainwater, I feed the plants with that. And I was doing it and I was like, what the? I'm like, no way.
I'm going to die.
Snakes in my courtyard. And I knew it, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's not normal. But it's camoed so well as well. Yeah, like, obviously they adapt to their environment like that. And he was like wrapped around my tree. It was really odd how he was in there. Yeah. But wrapped around and I saw his little tail, which is out of it because it almost looked like a rattler tail. Yeah. Like when I saw it, because it was dark as well. Yeah. And and he was going and he's wrapped around that tree and then wrapped around a pawpaw tree, which I think there's a few elements here. That pawpaw tree, the bats annihilate my pawpaw. I had so many huge ones. Apparently they're really sweet and good. And my mate identified what it was. And I'm like, and he loves them. Yeah. And I had some juicy ones last year about this like huge yellow. And I was waiting for them like they're Chris's. And this one time I was cooking dinner and I hear this doof. And I'm like, and then again and again, I'm like, what the hell is that? And I go out there and these bats are just like fiends on these pawpaw plants, annihilate, and they're picking the hell out of them and whatever. Yeah. But then they're not even like eating half of them and they're dropping on the ground and they're wasted then.
Wasteful.
Wasteful. Goddamn winged demons. But and so I knew what they were. And I think, and I think they get bats though as well, like snakes, I think, but they'd be pretty hard pressed to get the bats too, I think. But I don't think they were up there then because they're pretty green at the moment. But and he's wrapped around that and then on the fence line. And I go, shit, there's over a meter behind the fence, and I couldn't see his head at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how fucking big is the snake?
Yeah.
And
Like they get
pretty big, obviously.
Yeah, there's some huge ones out
and
there.
if he was double that size, I was like, okay, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, lock your doors.
But well, believe me, and I've had those open a lot. I mean, I have the screen because I love the breeze that comes through.
Yeah.
But I would like left that open when I was going out watering, walking in and out. And, I do that a bit and go outside. And I'm like, oh, well, now I'll be making sure I closed it. And I did actually lock that door after a while. I was like, I know we can't get through the screen.
Man.
But just in case, I don't really want to deal. Because if he was inside, that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a completely different story with the heart rate
now.
too. Yeah.
For sure.
And then I saw his head, and it's so funny because their head's so small compared to the rest of their body, and it doesn't really look proportionate. But he was just chilling there, man. And I think he actually had eaten something like a mouse or whatever, a mouse, sorry. Because it wasn't like there was a fist chunk, it was like sitting there like he was digesting. But he had eaten in the last, I reckon, 12 hours or so, maybe 24, because his back, middle to back end was just a bit thicker, than the rest. That's what threw me. I was like, this is a huge snake. Yeah. And then once I figured it out, I was like, okay, no, he's not there. And he knew I was there. Yeah. Because he was, I think he was sleeping, he was chilling. And then he came up with his head. And as I'm playing my video, waiting for it to upload on Instagram, it's playing out loud, and then I see him poke up, and he's looking at me, looking at him, probably listening to my stupid ass video on Instagram and going, this guy, and and then I saw, and it was so funny because I watched him for a while. I was pretty fascinated by it. It was really cool, but I'm a little but I'm not.
petrified. I'm pretty confident they're not poisonous.
No,
they're pretty harmless too.
I still wouldn't want to get bitten by it. No, they are harm. But I mean, you don't know. I don't know if rabies even travel through snakes or anything, but I'm sure
maybe
they've probably got something you don't want. Those fangs going into you. I'm sure they've still got a hell of a bite on them.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want to get bitten.
It would hurt.
But I feel like it wouldn't unless you were antagonizing it. You know what I mean?
Sure. And some dickheads would have done that probably to that snake before, And the fact that he was at about my eye level was why I wasn't going to pick him up. But people were telling me most people were shitting themselves. And they're not even there. I was getting all these messages. It was pretty funny actually. And I'm like, man, you're Australians. How do you not know that? Have you not been around this before? A lot of people, you don't see them.
No, not in suburbia as much.
No.
I know my auntie's got some property down on the, she sold it now, down on that hinterland of the Gold Coast. And she had a few over the years. Carpet snakes get in there because she had property.
Yeah.
But I've not seen one in suburbia ever.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they're probably there.
they're there.
Yeah,
and you could see how well camoed he was.
Yes.
I knew where he was, but it is funny that I saw him too because I was only outside for a set. It just caught the corner of my eyebrow. That was it. I saw him straight away as soon as I walked out the door.
That's weird
because I'm aware of my surroundings and stuff, which I do pride myself on because you never fucking know what's going down.
Situational awareness.
Situational awareness. I think it's pretty high for someone who hasn't been trained. I'm trained in life in it, if you know what I mean. I train myself and in weird ways like that, I'm always challenging myself with things around me. It's just, I think you can never be more prepared for the the inevitable, or not,
prepare for the unexpected.
Unexpected, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, and I just called him out of the corner. I'm like, something's not right there. I'm like, no shit, that's a snake in my tree.
Yeah.
No shit, he's pretty big actually. It wasn't huge, but the reason why I had a feeling it was I knew it was probably a python.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling it was a carpet python. I think I may have even said that in the video initially, is because the only one I've actually ever held on to was a carpet python that a guy that I used to work with, him and his missus used to go to houses and catch them for people.
Oh, right.
And they had them in enclosures and stuff in their house and they would do whatever they did with them. She brought one into work one time and it was a carpet python, but it was way bigger than that. It was 3 meters, I would say.
Yeah.
2.7, 3 meters. That one would have been maybe 1.2 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe even stretched out. Actually, it might have, been closer to 1.5. I don't know.
Wait, it's a big snake.
Yeah. It's not small.
It's over 6 foot.
Yeah. And true. When you think about it, stretched out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Close. I'm 6'2", I'm 187 centimeters. So
I'm talking 180. So 5'11" or whatever. Yeah. So he's
close.
Close. Yeah.
Big snake.
When you think about it, and so they brought it into work, and it was that one was like thicker and longer, you know, and reasonably well fed, I think, because it was in someone's house. So it was obviously feeding on something in there. And I'd say he was a bit of a younger one as well. But, you know, well, what do I know really? But just the way I think his head maybe too. I think maybe if they're a bit older or whatever, like their heads are a lot bigger because it was like really almost disproportionate to its body. Because it really did look like it was like its head was maybe like that, you know, which is weird. But obviously it was at night and I wasn't actually, I was probably a meter away from it. And that was about as close as I was getting to its face because I was right at my, you know, the fence line. But what he was doing was there's a fence line that goes up there. And it was breezy last night. Dude, he was doing these ones. He was just floating his head in the breeze. Yeah, he was just chilling and hanging out. It was so out of it to watch him. Yeah, he was just like this. It was just flowing. Like, I was like, this is unreal, eh? Like, watching him just do his thing. Like, he clearly didn't worry about me.
No.
But I wasn't messing with him either, which would be an arsehole thing to do. And it's his, as far as I'm concerned, he's more welcome there than I probably am. Although I do own the property. I don't, you know.
Charge him rent.
Yeah. He's more Australian than I am. So, but yeah, it was just cool to see him doing that. I was like, oh, he's chill as. Like, and he was there for quite a while. He wasn't there this morning. But so who knows? But now I know they're in the area. I mean, this is a very green area though too in the suburbs. So I had a feeling they would be around, and there's that big, huge open section in the front of the property where I was like, I look at that all the time and I'm going, I am not walking through there.
No,
but I guarantee there is definitely some snakes in there. Even when it's mowed though, man, it's like, you know, they're in there too. And it goes through the creeks, man. There's all like a lot of, it's really cool, like nice area for that because I go running around like and do my cardio and I'll go around all the rivers and stuff, sort of like, you know, I'll go around on this track and, you know, I just like that, like especially being in the suburbs too, you know, of that. But, yeah, I mean, he's not a bad size to just be hanging around. And that lady's got a dog outside too. This lady's got like a little lunch for him over there. And I was going to go tell her, like she's got a little like chihuahua, or not chihuahua, but it's like a little fluff ball thing. It's real cute, but I kind of wanted to say because I'm like, that thing is gone. If that's I mean, it would be a meal for it, but I think it would probably do it, to be honest.
Yeah, because they can unhinge like their jaw. Like, it opens ridiculously.
No bueno.
No thanks.
But yeah, so that was pretty cool to see it because I knew there's got to be some in this area, right? And I was like, and it's very quiet around here anyway as well. And yeah, so I was like, okay, cool. Now I know. Now I won't keep my doors open like without, you know, I'll still keep the screen closed like that because I did before as well. But I'm actually like, is he here? Like, if he comes back, I'm naming him. That's for sure. It'd be cool to feed him, but I don't think it would be a good idea to feed him at the same time.
That'd invite him to stay.
Yeah.
Keep coming
and
back.
I don't really need that. Like I say, if that was inside, there would be a different tune. I'd be fucking pretty worried about it. Like I'd be I wouldn't sleep knowing if it was in here. That's like probably one of my bigger fears. Like you say, spiders, I'm all right with. There's huge huntsmen that come in here. I've got some Terminator huntsmen that I've had to get out of town. Like that. There's been a couple that have been that, but you know, they and that's the age-old thing, Kiwis. If you are listening, like there's all, you know, dinner plate, you know, size dinner plate. That's what we always heard growing up.
Oh, there are some big ones.
And like even someone's messaging me to, I know they do actually pretty damn big. And he's like, man, screw Australia, everything's trying to kill you over there. I'm like, this guy listens to Rogan. Like that's all I was thinking, when he said that, and I'm like, it's not that bad, but. For the first few years that I was over here, everywhere I was walking, I was looking out for snakes. I'm not going to lie.
That's the thing. Like everything can probably kill you, but it's not going to if you don't fuck with it.
I think people are more going to kill you than what the actual animals will.
But that's the problem though, is you get like people who aren't from here, they come and they see it and then they fuck with it and then it bites them and then it's a story that it tried to kill it. Like,
and you probably deserve it. If you mess with it in its own environment, more or less. You're kind of asking for it, man. I got no sympathy for you if you're messing with animals in that regard.
I was posted to Darwin for 6 years in the army, and the amount of times, like it might sound racist, but Asian tourists for the most part eaten by crocodiles, like a few every year, because they just jump in the water, like they see the sign and they go, it should be right, and they just jump in because they just like, I don't know if it's a language barrier thing or they just don't care, but they get eaten by crocodiles. Like, don't go near them, and they're fine. Like, Don't fuck with them.
Think I can think of much worse
It
than
happened.
being eaten by a crocodile.
Oh, it'd be
Especially
horrendous.
because they keep you in your mouth until you rot. They might cruise around with you or put you in a hole somewhere. You're probably going to be dead by then. But
almost certainly.
But a lot of the time, like they want the meat to rot so they can pull it off the bone and everything. Is so visual, like the visual of that right now. But like they've been known to like snatch people or whatever, get people for being idiots.
Yeah.
And then be like still there the next day, hovering in the water with the person still in their mouth.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't want to let it go because obviously the other crocs will get it as well. But waiting for it to just rot a little bit or, break down a bit so they can like get it.
Yeah, man. They lose at least a few a year. Like it happens every year.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It barely makes the news. It happens that often.
But it's like you get those stories of everything can kill you.
Yeah.
And then you'll go and do that even though it's signposted. Like you're lucky there is a signpost there in Darwin or somewhere. I mean, I'm sure they probably have to.
Yeah,
but
they do.
There'll be spots that they probably don't. And they're definitely probably there.
Yeah. And there's also spots where they're like, no, it's safe during this time of the year because you don't have like before the runoff and stuff like that. And then there's spots that
but even then, if they're saying that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can find somewhere else, otherwise I don't really need to get in the water that much. Like,
it's hot, dude. It's
okay,
hot.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
man, crocs. Animals in general. Just don't fuck with them.
The crocs is a nutty one though, man. Like that would be, it's a lot. And I love the ocean, man. I'm a water rat, bro. Like I'm in there, you can't get me out. Like I'm body surfing for hours. When I go up the coast, I was doing it the other day, man. I caught some of the best waves I've ever caught in my life. Like I rode like 3 or 4 body surf, like from honestly, like I rode it in probably 20 meters.
That's pretty good for a body surf.
It was was the best. And I do it a lot. Like to play. If I go there, I'll try.
Yeah.
But these were just the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Such a good day with them.
Oh man, I was hitting these waves and people were just like, whoa, like, because I'm just committed. I could feel it, like it's just all in the, man, there's a thing to it, picking the wave. Like I don't surf. I've never surfed.
I'd love to surf.
And me too. It's a lot of time.
Teach us to surf.
Yeah. I got mates that surf that have offered it. I just never really, done it. But
I really want to learn.
Yeah, I would too, actually. Yeah, it'd be cool. We should get on that, man. Because it sort of takes skill. That, like you want someone to, and to do it with you, especially if you're learning as well. Yeah. Like it's cool when you're like, oh man, you're excited to go and do it. You don't want to go with someone that's awesome. Yeah. Because they're like,
it's good to if you're learning off them.
Yeah, you want if you're learning, definitely. But if they want to go hit some crazy shit, you're like, oh man, I'm only like, I can barely stand up on this thing.
There's like a surf camp down at Byron that you can go to for like 3 or 4 days, and it's like they'll coach you the whole way.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I've been looking at that.
Okay. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, that's man. It's so funny though because the beach is so packed. It was over like Christmas and stuff, and so I'm legit on this wave. That's so far over my head. It's not funny. Like a decent one, like obviously it's a good wave and you're riding it in that. It's like 10 meters over here. Oh, it's massive. These are massive. And like I'm going and there's so many people and once you're on it, you can kind of lean into it. But dude, the amount of times I went over like kids and their parents, like, because they shouldn't hang out in the spot and they knew. Yeah. But they started to get it after a while. Like, I'd always pick a spot and some idiot would come in front of me. But I'd like go right over top of them, mate, and I could feel them underneath, like me going over top because I get hammered by the wave and I'm riding the wave over top and they look back and I'm like, and that's just like, whoa. Especially the little kids are like, how did he do that?
Just
like,
get in the way.
It takes practice to really get to judge the right wave when it's going to break and not the rolling wave, but one that you can feel that when it's going to roll, not just the roll ones. When they're coming, there's a better one after. But when you can pick it, you can pick when they're going to break and you got to start paddling obviously before that, but you can really get the feel for it. And when you don't have it, and you can still ride a certain way. But this particular day, bro, the best I've ever done. I went up like a week later. They were so strong. These ones were 5 times bigger. I am not kidding. These were stories in the air.
Yeah.
But they just fucking annihilated you. Dude, my pants were getting pulled off nearly every time. Chicks were losing bikinis. It was fantastic, especially up the sunny coast. But it was just so funny watching them try to go out and they're holding on to everything and boom, they get wiped. Then the moment they try not to wipe, they'll lose it. I mean, I was losing my shorts quite a lot and, it's frowned upon.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially at Christmas and New Year time when the beach is just like beach city packed.
Mate.
Man, but it was insane. But that was like, you could not even, you were trying to get out to the wave and you were getting pulled so hard with the current. I'm like, I got to tap out on this one, you know,
Yeah.
like I can see what's going to happen. Someone's going to get swept out there.
Yeah.
And they would have done that day, I guarantee it. And they were on high alert with the choppers and everything.
Especially those days because it's packed as well.
And
like,
just too many people that don't know what's going on. Oh, the funny thing was the lifeguards up there were like 70.
Yeah.
All the time. And I'm like, this is not the day you want to have to get these guys. They're probably well experienced and really awesome in the water, but George was probably on his 5th VB. And he was just 4X, I should say. We're in Queensland. You know, he was they'd been doing it forever, but clearly everyone was away, partying, holidaying, whatever, and they got the local ring-ins, you know, or whatever. But to be fair, they probably know better than most.
Oh yeah, they would for sure.
Getting you, you know, in a real dice situation, I don't know how that would have gone, but and having a paddle, but then again, they got the boats and stuff, so they're pretty onto it. But yeah, man, you got to be that water. Doesn't matter how big you are, man. Like that thing is unforgiving, and it will take you. And if you're in one of those rips, you can swim for a while, but you're done. You know, it's
man, it's unforgiving, but I mean, it's so much fun. So
it is so much fun.
Fuck it, should be right.
Surfing, we might need to get on that.
Yeah. I'm so
keen. Do you know Victor Fane?
Yeah. I worked on a film with Victor a few years ago now.
Yeah. So Victor, he's a good mate of mine down the coast. Yeah, he surfs a lot.
What's his gym? The Body Temple?
Body Temple. Yeah, check it out, guys, if you haven't already.
Yeah, if you're down the coast.
Great gym.
He's a great dude too. Super nice.
Fantastic. Yeah, French dude. I call him the French Adonis.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
I don't think he likes it, but I love it.
So shredded.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Man, he was in real good shape. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's still in great shape.
Yeah.
But he was super jacked. Like, when ages ago when I met him, you know, like the full on 6-pack going on and all the rest of it. Yeah, he's been on the podcast actually the first year. He actually was conceptual. He was thinking about like the gym and everything. Then he spoke about what he wanted to do with it. And it was so awesome. Like a year or so later, he was doing it, you know, and he's got it now down the coast there. And it's a fantastic spot. Yeah.
All the power to him, mate.
Yeah.
I hope he does really well at it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And he's put it, it's hard to get those things even off the ground, never alone, starting to get a profit and being successful and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, I wish I had a gym like that up here. Yeah. I'd be there in a heartbeat. That's exactly the kind of gym that I'd be training out of.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't want to go like, these world gyms and all the stuff like that, which I am looking at changing gyms to something similar like that. That's closer.
Go to Worlds at Underwood and they're great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The thing I do like about Worlds, people bitch more about the clientele that go there because it is more of a bodybuilding style gym. And people don't like it, but mate, like who cares? Like they've got nearly 2 of everything. Like they're huge gyms. Like you go, Underwood's new, so everything's brand new, which is great, but 2 or 3 of everything. So even on busy days, you're not really having to stand around for half an hour, wait for that one machine that you need.
Yeah, because that's what I can't stand that, man. No. That is one thing that I'd like. I mean, a sauna here, but I'd love to have my own gym, like because like I said about the training, the last thing I want to do is wait when I don't even want to halfway be here at this point. And
exactly.
God, the amount of times lately, and my gym's like I only go to a YMCA, right, in Bowen Hills, and like it's good. I've been going there for 10 years now. Yeah. Like I'm easily one of the oldest members there, longest the OGs from there, and and it's just like nothing worse than even like lately I've been working in, it's quiet in the gym, there may be 10 people in here, but both the squat racks that I want to do something on is getting used, and I'm like I have to wait for that, and then I'm already like getting into weird mental space, and then I get angry, and then I can just then I just channel it into my training. I do better anyway, but it gets frustrating, but also like now I'm like it's like 25 minutes from here. Yeah. And like after work, it's the last thing I can be bothered doing, sitting in traffic and driving there and then doing that and then coming home, and like, it's 2.5 hours or something, like I'm training and then, like stretching at the end or whatever, and then the travel time onto all that, like it's a lot of time, man. There's like a fitness cartel. Oh yeah, and Aspley, a new one just opened up, and so that's right across from work. Not that I really plan on exactly being there forever, but that's only like 10 minutes away from here, 15 minutes, which is it's everything on the weekends. There's nothing worse on the weekends. I have to go all the way in there, and then maybe I want to do something later, and I got to come back and go in there, and it's just oh man, or like I'm trying to get a session in before the podcast most times if I'm doing it on a weekend, and so then I'll go and do that, and you got to strategically judge it, and it's a bit of a nightmare, man. Yeah, but I'm lucky. How did we get back on gyms again?
Happens.
It does.
No, Victor, that's right.
Victor, yeah. So he said that he would take me to surfing. Yeah. Because he does it, but I don't even know. Like now, like this is a while back. Like now, I don't even think he
probably doesn't have time.
I mean, I'm lucky. Like the last several years, like I'm catching up with him at birthdays, you know, and stuff like that. Like he's got like kids now, you know.
Does he?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So man, God, that's so bad. I can't remember the name right now. I'm so bad with names. But he's got a little girl, and
good on him.
I think he's got a little girl. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's got another one on the way, but I should not even speak out of turn about that because I don't even know if anyone. But yeah, he's definitely got a little one, and like his missus Athena, she's got an older boy as well. Yeah. But he's so busy with that and the gym and everything. It's like it's so hard to even catch up with him.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh God, it had to do that.
Did it stop? Is it stopped recording? No, it's still going.
No, just the screen say wink because I hadn't done anything and I needed to set the timer on that. It's new. I got a new Mac.
It looks good. Nice and shiny.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
They're good. I like the MacBooks.
Dude, the Macs are great. Like my last one I got in 2013, man. I've had it all this time and it's been pretty sweet. I've had a couple of little issues, but nothing really. And it's only because it's so dated now. The other ones are so much faster, like a year later that they get out. And just with the editing, like I started to run into issues. And like these are running USB-C, which are quicker anyway, transfer files.
Even charging.
Yeah, and then running through a USB, man. And then I had to do this massive bulk of footage on that 3.5 hour podcast one.
Yeah.
And I was bringing on all this footage and the hard drives were just having meltdowns and it couldn't process it fast enough and it was getting to be a bit of a night. I mean, there was a couple of things I had to change and I worked my way around it. But that was a night and I was just like, I got to get a new one. I needed to anyway because like the charger was getting hot and then the battery had stuffed out and the only thing on them, the battery is actually underneath the keyboard. So you got to replace that whole top face of the bottom. Yeah. And so like the price of it. And then I was like, I should just upgrade. It's just like, this is going to be way faster than what you're doing it on. So I had to do a bunch of research. The new ones just dropped the same time as I got this. I actually went for a spec'd up version of the model before because it's actually more powerful than even the chip that was good. So I'll talk to you about it. It depends what price point and what one you want. You can spec up the other one and it's pretty good too. But it's like because they brought out the new M2 chip, right? And M2 Pro and all that. And so that's the M1 Pro. And it's actually, there's really good videos online of people comparing them. And there's only a couple of things that they're a little bit better in. Like one being a little bit of battery life and a little bit of different processing on a couple of things.
But like an extra $8,000 or something stupid.
No, it's not quite that bad, but this one's actually faster in other avenues and better, and it's a little one. It's a little. Like a lot of them are like just maybe wait for the next one to come, you know, because it happens with iPhones and stuff too, and obviously Samsungs and all the rest of it as well. But Macs, I cannot go, like they're fantastic machines, man. I was always PC. And I got that Mac and I just would never, you know, like I get Apple everything now. And, you know, like, I mean, I'm on the bandwagon, but it's not like, but they're just fantastic. And for creative stuff, they're just easy to use. And like I say, it lasted me so long without any like issues to the point of, having it like, almost
nearly 10 years.
10 years. And and it's still mint. Like I could sell it to someone else if they wanted to go get that stuff done. Like it's sweet. But you get to a point where I was like, I've just used it as a secondary now. So it's like I use this one to record or use the other one and then I can Google or do anything with the setup there, you know, which I can get, you know, going. But it's like, you know, I like locking in with it and it's like, then I go down to here and I'm like looking stuff up, but it's cool to pull up videos and stuff like that.
For sure.
Of like, you know, like your travel stuff, which I was that's what I was sort of looking at going to do. But I was like, I know how good we are at locking in with the conversation. And I was like, I don't really want to break that as well. No. And I may, I can also inject clips in here, even if we're talking about it anyway, which I've done on past episodes.
For sure.
So stuff like that. But man, they're great. They're fantastic.
Big fan.
But so the travel show and everything, man. So great, I know you shot, this is season 2, right?
Season 3.
Season 3.
We shot season 3 the end of last year.
Yeah. And so are you on the first season? Yeah, that's the one.
So the first season was Mads by herself.
Yeah.
So
and the second one was different guests. And then you got the gig, right? Basically.
Yeah. So I was in sort of the last 5 episodes out of 10 of season 2, and then season 3 it was me and Mads the whole time.
Yeah.
I think there was like an individual episode here or there. It was just me and just her.
Yeah.
But that's down to like how she edits and it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she edits it herself, eh?
Yeah. So she kind of edits it all together and then sends it off to her editor to tied it all up and make it all look good. So she kind of knows.
does the rough cut and more or less the
Yeah.
blueprint of it, and then someone else comes in and
exactly.
then specs it all out.
Yeah. It's not much left. That's all good. Yeah. But no, man, that show is so I love it. I love doing it. It's
man,
fun.
it sounds fantastic. And I was watching your bit of stuff on Instagram, and I know that's only little snippets of it. It looked cool, man. I was like, damn, I wish I was there. Like the campfire ones and stuff like that. Like that shit. I'm like, I want to be doing more of that kind of primals, primal-ish stuff, getting on the land, and doing that. Because there's nothing better than the fresh air, out like that with a bunch of mates around a campfire and you
for sure.
camping or whatever you're doing, and just yarning. It just brings something more primal. It's like what they used to do when we were younger. I mean, not younger, sorry, back in the day, but our ancestors and stuff. It's in your DNA, man. That's why you feel so free when you go out into nature.
Yeah, for sure.
It's why I'm innately like with the snake. I'm like, somewhere down the track of the DNA, someone might have got swallowed by an anaconda. I don't know, got bitten by a snake and died. But, those things are in you, man. It's like why people think the monsters and big teeth and things like that. It's the cat saber-tooths back in the day, lions or what, I think it's in there, man. There's maps of it. I mean, it's been proven by a lot of people, maybe not some of that stuff, but it seems pretty legit to me anyway, why people have phobias and arachnophobia and all this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be any number of things. Maybe just people just don't like it. I don't know.
That too, but yeah.
That's so above my head. It's also,
I love that stuff, eh?
No idea. I love listening and hearing about it.
Yeah.
I just have I can't make sense of it one word. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know which way I sway on it. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
It makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, that stuff. I mean, Rogan does talk about it a bit as well. Yeah, a lot of other people too. But it definitely makes a lot of sense to me, man. Like some people just lock up, man. Like when they see, and it's weird little things too. It could be a horse or something, but it can be also they've been bucked off a horse or something like that before, obviously. Yeah. But when you have no association to that thing and you just literally cannot move when you see something like that, or it could be a dog, man. Things like people are really weird with different animals that you'd run and a hug that you don't even know, like that. If it's a good natured dog and stuff like that, you're pretty good with it,
Yeah. Cognitively, I completely understand. It's just, it's one of those things. I'm skeptic on a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it or is it not? I don't know. I never commit to something because I'm like, it could change.
Oh no, 100% it could change. But in them, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense to me. That's more plausible than anything else I've heard before. Can I just roll with it or investigate it a little more? I'm like, you go down weird paths and you're like, oh man, I'm learning a lot here about, and then you learn something about yourself or the world or what have you. It's kind of that investigation, within the movement of everything, Yeah. But anyway, travel show. We're going on a woo-woo. Pat. Don't get me started on woo-woo stuff, man. I'm going to keep going.
The woo-woo stuff. It's great, man. We're a great little team. It's only small, so when we do rock up somewhere, we don't have a huge production company doing things. It doesn't take hours and hours to set up. We'll rock up maybe an hour early, have a bit of a look around. We're not interrupting business to the place that we're at. Go and have a look. I'll go and meet the person that we're going to chat to. But our videographer, he hates being called a DOP. He's like, no, those guys I'm just a video guy. But he's a DOP. Yes. But he goes out. He'll do some of the BTS. He'll look what he wants, what thinks is going to look great. Him and Maz will discuss it. She'll introduce me, have a chat to them, find exactly what they might want to promote within their business, and then we'll do the interview. And it's easy. And then after we do the interview, depending on what time they've got and how busy it is, I might do my intros and stuff before or after. It just kind of depends on how our timings are working for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then do the interview with them, just have a chat to them, find out, all about them and their business. It's awesome. It's so cruisy, and nothing's really scripted for the most part.
Yeah.
So the
guidelines of what you want to get out of, what you'd like to see, what she would like to see. Yeah,
unless there is some specific, sometimes there might be, when we did Uluru, there might be some specifics around dates and times of things. For those, don't say this, say that. I might have to use specific language around that. But outside of that, I can kind of free flow as long as I'm following roughly what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
As long as I don't swear.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. So it's cruisy, man. You know, if I miss something in an interview, like it's fine. We just like, yep, sweet. Or it kind of the conversation runs to an end and I haven't hit something we want to. Matt's just like, yep, sweet. Jake, how about you asking me about that? And then Steve, you can go on and tell us about your famous apple pie, whatever it is that we're talking about, or whatever business thing he wants to get out.
We just, what their niches. Yeah,
we just spin it back up and I'll throw him that question. He can tell me all about it and then edit it and make it look like it all happened in one. Yeah. It's great.
That is fantastic.
It's awesome.
And
especially
it's
so
doing
good.
that independent way as well, like with a small group like that, and it still holds on to what it was when it started kind of thing.
Yeah.
The vibe of the show, right?
Yeah.
Like, and because it can be, you can get really overproduced with things, especially stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. Like Mads is incredible. Like she blows me away how much work she does and how much she grinds to get all of it done. Like for me personally, I don't have to do that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kind of just
no, that's the best part, man.
Yeah.
And it's like cool, like this, when you do something that you like and you enjoy. Like I love doing it. I mean, the other stuff is a real grind. Like sometimes when you're a doer and you just want to like set it up and let's go. Like, you know, I would be doing them weekly for sure. Yeah. If I didn't have to do everything else on the side of it to get the episodes out, is so much more than just a few hours of doing one.
Yeah, it would be.
But you know, that's just part of it that you learn and you get better with, you know, and but and obviously get people on later on. But so you said you went to Uluru. So whereabouts have you gone? It's obviously in Australia. You just gone to this, so it's
I think there may be sort of on the back burner potentially plans to go international later. So. Like nothing set in stone.
But for now,
up to Mads, whatever she wants to do.
The way it's going,
So on season 3, we started down at the Flinders Ranges, did a bunch of work around there, and then sort of moved up the centre of Australia, stopped off at a few places, up to Uluru, and then across from Uluru to Alice Springs, which was was awesome. It was a great trip. Yeah. It's like a road trip with friends. Like we just stop and film stuff here and there. Like,
the behind the scenes in that regard too is even better. Road tripping. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like. We always have a laugh. Like we get along really well, the three of us. So like it's like hanging out with friends. It's awesome.
That's so good.
Yeah. It would suck if we didn't get along, and it would be painful.
It wouldn't work, and it wouldn't be what it is if that was the case. But I mean, that's also what comes into mind when they're like casting films and stuff, who you want on to work with on set. Like there's nothing worse than working with someone that's difficult.
Yeah.
Because God damn, it puts a strain on everyone else when everything is such a strain in general, in a nutshell. Like you're trying to squeeze blood out of a stone and you got deadlines and you're going overtime and it's going to cost money and this and that and the lights fade or whatever you're doing, man.
It's even the energy just gets put off. Like everyone feels awkward. Like you can feel
shows in the work. It shows in the material. What comes out.
When that one person who's causing issues steps on, and it was like everyone was chilling, having a good time, and we're laughing a bit less. Like everyone's like, you know, it sucks for sure.
And that's the thing though too, because obviously with a lot of good actors or movie stars or whatever way you're going with it, they're big energy people sometimes too, and some are fantastic, but they may have a big ego on them, but they still do the work, you know, and they're like got to be there. So that like really. Yeah, you got to work around that, and sometimes you just can't say any. You know, like it's green lit because of this person. So you've got a job because of this person, and you want it to be the best that it can be. But yeah, man, it's so funny how like you think like they've got this budget. There's all these people here. They've got the space. There's no excuses.
Yeah,
and then things turn out terrible. Yeah, sometimes, or not terrible, but not great over the expectation they probably had, and you're like, how?
Yeah,
and then but people don't realize like that energy. That's one of the best things about filmmaking is so many different people with so many different skill levels and different energies coming together and making something beautiful. It's art. It's a film or whatever.
I think generally it's very much a meritocracy for the most part as well. I mean, there is definitely people who sort of slip through the cracks and, you know, they may not be as amazing at what they're supposed to do and they've still kind of got into there anyway. But like my experience for the 99% of it, everyone at every level is good at what they do and they're there because they're good at what they do. Even if they're a prickly person, they're there because like, yeah, man, he's a bit of a prick, but fuck, man, he's the best in the business at this. You know what I mean? Like everyone is there because they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
And all of that comes together to make something awesome that people enjoy watching. Like it sucks when you work in other industries and you're like, these people fucking suck at what they do. And yeah, we're stuck and we got to work with them. And it's painful. It's nice to be in something where if you're not good at it, you're probably not going to be there. So either get better at it or find something else to do. It's nice.
Yeah,
everyone's good.
Yeah, no, it's a real it's a real thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
being on set.
Yeah,
when you see how the sauce has been made, it really opens your eyes.
For sure.
To it all, and you're like, okay, now I can see how all these things come out about this production or whatever, and how this didn't turn out. Or what you just see little things. You're like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, and they got to do scenes together and they may hate each other.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, and you're just like, you can kind of sit, you're like, man, that feels like that was channeled in the performance somehow. Like,
was he meant to hit it?
It comes out later. It was all these different things. You're like, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So you're at Flinders, you said Uluru and Alice Springs. So was there
was stops like in between. I'm trying to remember all that. It all blends because it was in it was about a 4.5 week trip. So it's like it was just day on day on day. Like, there was no real days off, but at the same time, like it barely work, mate. Like I love doing it, so I didn't mind.
So is that a western part of Australia? Is it?
So Flinders Ranges is down in South Australia.
Okay.
Yeah. So I flew down to Adelaide and then got picked up at the airport and we headed up. It's about a 4-hour drive from there up to the Flinders Ranges.
Okay.
Which are like beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Like the sunrises we got there for some of the shots were just
amazing.
Yeah. It was freezing. It was cold, but it was worth it to be up even in the dark. Just watch the sun because the sun will come up like behind you, but the color hits the ranges and the ranges light up. It's like all these, it's so incredible. Cool. Yeah, it's so good. So I know they got some awesome drone footage of that.
Yeah,
it would look incredible.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and then from there we headed up the center. I can't even remember where these names of the places we went. Like so many.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Yeah. It was all the way up the center. So we ended up getting up to Uluru. So we based at a place called Curtin Springs, which is about 2 hours, about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Uluru. And then we just day tripped in 4 or 5 days in a row, in and around, which was great.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have a little bit of a look and I'll see if I can pull some some clips in or like some pictures of some of the places you went. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, so much fun. Like I love that show.
Yeah. No, it sounds fun. Like honestly, that's a gig that I would like to get something like that with the travel. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like just getting more adventure and excitement into my life, like that's what sort of like I came to a conclusion with the end of the year, coming into this year. And it's like something that I really want to investigate and push myself. And it's just even little things of like going on those beach adventures or anything or whatever like that, and that's why I like when I've made myself, because I'm like, man, I love it. I know I'm busy with so many stuff and the time's pressed, but you need this stuff in your soul, man.
Yeah,
like, it feels so good. Like, and that'll help for everything else. And you get more relaxed. You're like, oh man, why don't I do this more often?
Oh, absolutely.
And you got to lean into those thoughts because, after a while, it's just like, man, you don't want to keep thinking about that and going regretting not doing certain things, right? Get out there and get after it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love it. It'd be one of those shows where obviously in acting we want to get to that A-level thing.
Yeah.
If I could fit it in my time, I don't care how famous I get.
Yeah.
Like
those kind of
I may never get famous at all.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't matter how famous I got. If I could fit it into my schedule, I'd do it. Like I don't care. It's a good time. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask for more money. I would just whatever. I don't care. I'd do it for free.
Especially a travel show like going international as well, man.
Yeah,
like how cool would that be?
That would be
not one of those wanky ones, where it's like, let's stay at this resort and all that. But one where you're going and doing adventure stuff or like doing it a bit like maybe not backpacker style, but in that realm of like money scheme of things. So like the everyday person and stuff are going on that adventure with you going, I could go and do that. Like that's the cool part about it.
So we try and capture sort of both.
Yeah.
We try to be like,
that's cool.
You've got these sweet camping spots in this location. And like Mads went and did one of the camping spots there and showed off the pop tent that we had with the Subies. And she's like, you can go to this place. It's awesome. While I was at like a ranch style thing. Like I was at a bit more luxury, but it was like a great place. So hey mate, that's
the typecast switch right there, right? That's funny when you say that. You're getting a mani-pedi and a facial at this resort, and she's out there slumming it with a shower that hooks up to the car or something.
Yeah, it was good. I think that was a joke we actually made in there. But but like we do both sides of it, so that way you get to see, because there's people that are they never want to sleep on the ground. They don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
They want to stay in
You kind of got to experience it.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at a point in my life. I've slept a lot on the ground. I'm happy to sleep in a bed.
Yeah,
Give me the aircon. I'm all about it.
Especially at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in Australia too.
Oh,
like in summer right now, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how muggy is it out there? Like it's starting to get
putrid. It's putrid outside.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, man? Like, what do you got? What are you hoping to achieve this year? I mean, obviously, stay alive with the shit that you've just had going on, which is made for a great story for the podcast that I was not expecting.
Hope it doesn't get too boring in the middle.
Oh no, it's all good, man. Have you got a picture of your scar or anything?
Like I can show you. I got the photo. So the doc came and he took a photo mid-surgery. Look at my gut open. You can see a part of like the bowel he took out, and then he took a photo of like my bowel, my small intestine, and my appendix on a thing. That too. And like you can take a photo of the. I've got a photo on the scar on there as well.
Sweet. Yeah.
You can take one now if you want to. Like,
no, whatever you got, man. That would be great. Like to put in there, eh? Like,
for sure. Yeah, you can have that. Like,
if you want to. Yeah, obviously, that's the thing. Like, but
not fast.
No, but that's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, what do you sort of hope to achieve this year? What are you sort of striving to do?
Look, last year was probably the biggest year I've had filmed so far. So if I can continue that this year, like hopefully we do season 4. I think we will, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Of the travel show. Destination Dessert, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m., 10 or 10. Check it out. Or 10 play, whatever. Yeah, just play it again.
Get on it.
Hopefully do that and just pick up like whatever comes my way film-wise. Just keep grinding, get back into classes and physically do some work, like more flexibility, go back to the BJJ, maybe some striking and stuff, which will help with fight choreo and help that stunt side of things as well. And just make me more versatile in what I can do performing wise as well. Yeah. So that's the plan, man. Yeah, stay awesome. Healthy, fit, get flexible, and pick up as much work as I can.
Yeah, just keep getting after it, and hopefully that'll transition and you're doing that full time,
mate. Hopefully,
that's the goal, isn't it? That's what we're working towards. Yeah,
full time film work would be the best.
Yeah,
though I did. I did a couple of days on Nickelodeon show as well.
A couple
weeks ago.
Down the coast.
Rock Island. So I was even talking to one of the leads on that. She's like, it's never really full time, is it though? Because unless you get on
it's not. No.
Game of Thrones, you're on for 8 years in a row and you make $3 million an episode. But
even then, they're not actually full time. You're working for whatever period you're working for, and then you can go off and do other things, or you're going on a bit of a holiday. That is the funny thing about the industry, right? It's like
it'd be nice to be in the industry full time. Yeah, be at a point where I can support myself entirely. Off
and that's what we mean, really. By it,
exactly.
Obviously. And to be able to do whatever else you do that excites you outside of it, and the downtime, and that's the dream, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day, I mean that. Yeah, fame's whatever and everything else that if you strive for it or you don't, it's like that. I think is like that's would be my thing too. Like just to be able to do it, go and do whatever films and do, and obviously you move up. Yeah, if hopefully and you grow and you be a better actor and you get more gigs and stuff like that. But if you can do the creative stuff like full time or whatever it is, like that's it. That's in a nutshell. Absolutely. Like that would be starting to live a fuller life that you'd want to be doing, and less time going, what am I still doing this for?
For sure.
What, and whatever job it is, oh man, it's a strong mindset at the moment of me to try and figure that stuff out. Just because you're not getting any younger and just got to get after it while you've still got the energy to do it, man, and take some chances. That's where I'm sort of leaning at this year as well, and just roll the dice, man.
I want to get out and do stuff more this year. Like last year, I didn't do as much. Like I had some good film work and whatnot, but I want to like do things that I've wanted to do for a while. Just get out and do them. Like learn to surf, go get a scuba ticket.
I hear you.
Stop sitting back and going, it might cost a few $100. Like I might save and wait for it to get done. Just go and do it. At the end of the day, like it's only money, and that's an experience that I'm gonna have a good memory of. Yeah,
an experience is worth far more than any kind of money.
Exactly.
What money can buy, no matter. I think what most people can say. I mean, you learn that anyway through life.
For sure.
I think so. Yeah, it's a great mentality to have, man. I'm sort of the similar place, man. We're feeling on that one, So
just get out.
Maybe we should look into a couple of things like surfing and stuff.
I'll go.
Pretty 100%. Cool. Yeah. We'll have to look into it.
I want to. One of the things I want to try this year, and I want to try stand up. I just want to give it a go.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually what I was about to ask you before when you said about stand up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've gone up a couple of times.
Have you?
Yeah.
How'd you find it? Whew. Did you bomb or did you do all right?
I bombed the second time, in my opinion. Well, not that I really did fantastic the first time either, because let's face it.
But you got a couple giggles, couple laughs.
Oh, dude, it takes a bit. It's a thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was coming from a part where through like some of the film stuff and life stuff, like I'd really lost a lot of confidence within myself. And I was back in a space of like I just need to throw myself in the deep end again, like I did before, to see what I'm made of. Because like I was scared of like I was like public speaking and all that, you know, to be and then do an actor and all this other stuff that I've achieved, you know, it is a lot really when I think about it, but I try not to, because I try to keep pushing myself forward. But so I was in the space of, and I was listening to a lot of Rogan, a lot of comedy stuff, and I love comedy. I love storytelling. That's actually what I love. Yeah. Obviously. And and as opposed to just like one-liners and stuff, although they're always there, you know, but I love stories. They're my favorite comedians and dirty comics, like dirty stories and stuff like that. It's what I like. Yeah. So, of course, that's what I went up there to do. Yeah. And so, I had formulated a few bits. It took me a while to get it, and it's actually a beast to get on. So sit down comedy club is probably your best bet. Yeah. And so you got to get on there first, and it's really hard. Like, I haven't gone up. I went just before, I did it before the pandemic started, and it was just like nothing was happening. And now obviously it is a game, but I haven't gone back in, so I don't even know if I'm still in the pool. But you got to call up all the time, and you got to get in, and all these other people are trying to call in, and the line's dead, and you've got like 10 minutes to get through. Yeah. All the spots are going to be full up. Interesting. And so there's only certain rooms, and you're like, you start off at the bottom level, right? And there's this room, there might be Newmarket, Waterloo Hotel, wherever, you know, the Paddo, you know, whatever it is. And so they're the only couple of rooms that you've got, and then maybe like 15 comics go up, and there'll be an MC. And so you got to get one of those spots. And then you don't know what order you're in either. And it's a thing. And then I had a few bits. I finally got in there. I got it. It took me a while to get in and get through, and then I kind of worked out sort of what I thought could work. Yeah. And I had my story, and so I just did one whole story. Yeah. That while I was up there, you get 5 minutes, man. You get the light at 4. Yeah. Wrap it up. Yeah. I had this story. I've got the set. I've got a video.
Oh, you have to show me.
I haven't even watched. I've watched it maybe once.
Scares the hell out of me.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. I should do it. Yeah. I'd go and do it again. I've thought up other bits that I sort of wanted to do. I just haven't called up again. You know, there's so many other things going on, but I want to do it again. Yeah. I've
got a notes file on my phone of just ideas. Ideas.
So
Nothing.
Do I.
Yeah.
Audio recordings.
No, I've got none of those.
I've got audio recordings where I've tried out the bits, or I've got other, because to get back in the organic state, I do the same thing with my writing and the films and stuff that I want to do. Like to get back into the thought process, I feel you need to get it down in the most organic state so you can tap back into it if you can't at the moment.
That's a good.
And so notes. Yeah. While they're great, but you need to be descriptive with your notes. If you're not very good at that, or deciphering what you wrote or did, you can't get back in the headspace to fire it back up in your mind again, because it's pretty hard to get back there. But you got to have some element of getting back into that to really get the juices flowing again to go into it. It's a thing. That sort. Try it. Yeah, interesting. That's the way. And so I did this like story, this like sex story of when like I met this chick in an acting class, an American accent class, and I had this whole bit about it. Man, I want to watch it again, but I think I've only watched it once or twice or whatever.
It's watching myself.
Nah, and then doing that, you don't want it. That's why, like, I mean, probably, I don't even think anyone's really seen it. But I had mates there that watched, so this is the other thing.
Oh, yeah, so I'm not telling anyone.
Don't.
It's not happening.
That's my advice too. Or apart from, you know, like someone that, you know, like, or like, that, you know, like, I'm like, dude, I know what it's like. Believe me, like, just do your best, man. Like, and you just try it. But I had that story, and so you don't know how it's going to go, and you talk way faster when you get up there, and the mic, if you've timed it out, that you think is 5 minutes, it's not. You're doing it in 3. But until you get comfortable on stage, unless you're just a real natural, as some people are. And the cadence of how you walk, and really how you hold the mic too. Like, I was just standing there like with the mic in front of me. Now I would like want to take the mic off and put it in my hand and just like even rest my hand on there or whatever.
Something more relaxing.
Dude, it's so crazy when that light hits you and it's just on you. it's so bright that you luckily can't really see the people like in the room. So you kind of like, you can just sort of make it out, but you're just kind of, it's so bizarre, man. It is the most bizarre feeling. But probably too because of how I am with it. So it's like, you just don't know what you're getting into until you walk there. But man, I had the MC probably laughing the most. So it was like a seasoned comic. But the crowd was like there were so many moments on the recording where they did it because I was shocked. I had them shook, man. Like they didn't know what was going to come out of my mouth next because I was so descriptive. And like I'm a storyteller, man, and I'm an oversharer. And like, but the attention to detail, like it's all the best part of the story is the little details, how you wind it up. And that's where I had this guy, I think. And I was more proud of myself getting him. Like he was like he laughed like 3 times, like out loud, kind of, you know, like within that. But I remember just distinctly about 3 times the audience go, like, you know, and I was like, whoa, that's so funny. Like when you can hear it in the recording too. And because some of it's like, where's he going with this kind of thing? But it's pretty funny, man. But it was a good experience. But I did okay with that one. Yeah. And a friend of mine was there and another friend with his missus came and watched me. Yeah. And I think I was like, I think I went, did I go first? Because you don't know. You don't know what's going. No, I don't think I was first. Maybe I was first, actually. I can't even remember now. I think I've said it on a pod before. Maybe I was. No, I can't even remember now. But the second time I went up, oh boy, different room. I tried different material. Once again, it was another sort of sex story, but it was to do with like blowjobs and stuff and like funny play off of like the conversation within the, it was, you know, you had to be there. But so, and like this time I went third. I had like 7 of my mates there, which I was like, I didn't really want to do exactly anyway, but it just worked out. I was like, whatever. I didn't care until I cared afterwards. And I had to follow, I went up third. I had to follow this kid who was gay and autistic, and he fucking murdered the room. And I had to follow him. And the best laugh I got was what I played off of him. And I was like, oh my God, Charlie, I'm using you a wingman next time I go out, bro, because you just slayed that. Like, you know, whatever. And they laughed at that, didn't laugh at anything else. And I was up there sweating, and I just like, and I was like, oh, that was tough. And I went back to stay with my mates, and I'm like, they're like, whoa. So
you went sat down for the rest of the night.
You have to.
I'm going home.
The year before, I wanted to. I think I wasn't that, but in my mind, I definitely bombed. Like I didn't get like laughs, and I was like, and I just couldn't wait to get off the stage that time because it was not working. And I was like, okay, well, try that material again. But when I tell the stories like to someone else, it kills, you know. So it's like it's just all in the delivery and how I was with it, and you know, it takes that because you'll see. I've seen guys go up quite a few times, and they're pretty good. But like I've seen them do the same thing all the time, and they're that little 5 minutes, and they're like pretty not funny jokes. If I'm honest, like there's most of I haven't really seen too many that have been very good that I've gone and seen, but I've probably only seen like a handful of like the open mic stuff, and you're going to get that. So that's what gives you the confidence to think you can do it too once you eventually work yourself up to doing it. But man, I would say do it because it's still, for me, I felt better still do it because I put myself out there to do it in the worst situation you possibly could given like scenarios, and you get a lot of confidence in throwing yourself back in the deep end. And then I went back and did a lot more acting. You know, it got the flow on, and it got my universal flow of things back going. So I did. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, I probably would have gone up more again. And because it was shut down for a while. And man. And so, So, but it's a beast to get on. Once you're in it and you can try and get up, it's good. But
Mikey, do you know Mikey Joaquin?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's a dancer. But I met him in an acting class years ago. We're good friends.
Yeah.
He went and did a stand-up course with someone McPhee. I can't remember her name. They have like, you do the course over a weekend, and then 2 weeks later they have an open mic showcase at sit-down comedy. Yeah. So you guarantee like all the people in the course go up. But she teaches you whatever, like the basics, sort of joke writing and everything. And then over that 2 weeks, she'll help sort of workshop your bits with you so that they're not super raw. Like it's still going to be...
Yeah. It's a different thing when you get out there.
But it's not... That helps. Yeah. At least you've got someone who's a seasoned person there to kind of soundboard and go, oh, that's good, but if you hit it kind of maybe from this angle, it might be a bit, and just kind of open your eyes a little bit more.
Yeah, I've seen advertisement, I think, for her, actually. Yeah, I don't know where I saw it, but I did see it. Yeah, it might have been in the sit-down comedy club thing. Yeah,
I'm thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
Just giving it a crack.
If anything, it gets you out of your comfort zone and it's that.
Nobody's going to know.
Yeah, that's a good option.
Ever going to know.
Yeah. Me being me, sillily like told my mates that I was going to do it, and they're like, "Come," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine." Until they're there, and you're like, "It's really happening." Like,
not a chance. Am I doing it where anyone who knows me is going to be there? Not a chance.
That's awesome, man.
I will bomb so hard.
Oh man, it's a thing. You got to expect that. You got to like, it's rough for a long time, I'm sure. Like, you know, but you get better at it, like anything, right? And that's the thing.
For sure.
I look forward to hearing about it, though.
Sounds like a fun gig, though. If you get to a point where you're actually getting some laughs and you can make a little bit of money on it, sounds like it'd be fun to do. Like,
man, you've made me kind of want to. I've thought of it because I've got a great. Well, I think it will be good.
Yeah. That's the worst.
No. I've got myself out of that one already. But
it's like when you're at a party and you start telling a story, like this is gonna kill, and you finish, and everyone's like,
man.
"Like, did you find $50 or what, mate?"
Yeah,
more dragons because that was shit. Damn it,
dude! A place that I went to a massage one because a lot of stuff you just can't make it up. That happens to I feel that happens to me, man. And I'll tell someone, they're like, "Man, you live out of like a wild life, eh?" And I'm like, really? It's like that was just a Tuesday when I went for a massage, but like just real, because I went to this one that ended up being like a rub and tug, but I didn't know, you know, and like it was getting real weird when I was in it, like, and it was set up. And now that I think about it, it's like this place was called like Grand Diamond Experience Clayfield or something, and I'm like, why has this got two names? It's so strange. Anyway, whatever. I looked at a few reviews, it seems all right.
Yeah,
and I like go in there and I like book online, and this lady's she's going to me, why you book online? You pay cash next time. And I'm like, but why have it on your website? Okay, whatever. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Because I'd never been there.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all right. I go in there, you know, and start doing the thing and whatever. And I'm like, man, this lady's pretty, like, she's pretty handsy, eh? And she's doing the bottom and like working it out. And it had been a while, eh? Like, I think I'd broken up with my missus and I was probably 6 months or so in and I wasn't really getting any. And this lady's like rubbing me down and getting really in like by the arse, eh? And I'm just like, oh, this is kind of exciting. Like, and I'm like, I'm not about that butt play, but right now, I mean, this is all right. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm okay with it, you know? And I may have been like flicking the cheek out a little just to see what would happen. But yeah, and I go through anyway, and this is all getting pretty exciting. And then she flips over and we're doing the front and whatever. And she's like, we're like 35, 40 minutes in of like an hour massage. And she's like, just before I go clean up, like, you want extra? And I'm like, I look up at the clock, you know, because I always got in there. I'm like, don't we have another 15, 20 minutes? She's like, yeah. But do you want extra? And I'm like, I don't think I want extra time. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. She's like, you sure you don't want extra? I'm like, sorry, I don't really know what you mean. She's like, you want hand job? And I'm like, oh, no. I'm all right, eh? Like, I'm
this
good.
Is where
she's like,
the lies start. This is where the lies start.
I'm telling the truth here. I always tell the truth. You guys know that. And then she goes, okay, I'll go clean up and I come back. And then she goes to walk out and I go, oh, just out of curiosity, how much? She's like, $50. And I'm like, oh, no, it's all good. I'm a tight ass. Don't worry about it. And then she goes out, does the thing again. And I'm like, oh, man, the whole time I'm thinking, and she started going way more hundy on me on my back and stuff. Like, we're just doing the thing. I'm like, I feel like she's taking some the extra pay aggression out on me right now. Like, but man, it was wild. Eh? Like, I've got notes somewhere about it. It was a bit more detailed than that, but it was pretty funny. Like, and I feel like I can sort of set it up. And I'm like, now it makes sense when I walk out. The Grand Diamond Experience.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is code. You know, like, but yeah. So I signed up and I went back there again.
I'm now a monthly member.
Yeah, never went back again, but I did tell a lot of mates about it. Yeah. I swear they probably weren't there, but yeah.
Oh, mate.
Good times.
Goodness, mate.
Maybe we'll end it on that.
Yeah. It's a good way. That's
to be continued, guys.
Ending.
That's right. The happy ending of episode 35.
Yeah.
Man, Jake, it's awesome to hear everything that's been going on, bro. Yeah. But man, that's a wild ride, that story. And I'm glad to hear you're okay. But that's some scary shit, man. I didn't even know that at the time. I set up on the gram. I'm like, I was going to ask you, and I thought, no, I don't want to get too personal, but I hope you're all good, man. Like, kind of thing. Like, shit.
It is what it is, mate. That's life.
You're still here, man. You're still doing the damn thing, and you're getting after it. And that's
Can't
what
kill
I like
me that
to see.
easily. Yeah.
Right, brother.
It's good to see you, man.
You
Thanks
too,
for having me on.
No worries.
Yeah.
Righto, till next time.
Peace out,
Right, guys. It's us. We're out.
See ya.